And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. It's time to go back to Daylore for the first time in 2022. Who's excited about that? This guy, that's right, Picket. Look at him, just all smug and smiling and holding his shield and his sword, and he's ready to take down Marrow. And I'm not going to lie to you, this is about as close as it comes to a blind run through for me. I have faced Marrow a couple of times, and I have played with Picket about, twice in the last few months. So just figured, let's see what happens. I'm just kind of at that point with this game where I want to just kind of throw something up and have some fun with some zaniness. And as I have said before, if you want zaniness, Too Many Bones is the game for you. It's amazing at how it always brings the fun, brings the silly, brings the crazy, brings the strategy, and brings just a good time at a gaming table. So here we go against Marrow. Let's do a little flavor text and story time with Greg. Marrow, a name that when uttered in Daylore is enough to chill anyone to the bone. This orc never loses a battle and is a master strategist. He also effortlessly swings an axe the size of a small and angry gearloc. Marrow knows how to bide his time in battle and will not hesitate to use his many followers to guarantee a victory. Man, what an ugly orc. And he's got like a helmet skull thing going down, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what Mrs. Marrow sees in this guy. And Marrow comes with 2 Tyrant Encounters, and hopefully we will not see either of them very early, because Tyrant Encounters early can be a big problem. Marrow gives us a 12-day adventure, so we have 12 days to get the job done. We have his little chip here. He's going to come in with 9 health. I'm going to go ahead and give him that stack of chips now, because why the heck not? And put him over there, make him a little bit more imposing. We have his little tyrant die. In those 12 days of this encounter, we do need to accumulate 10 progress points before we will have the opportunity to go and try to smash that helmet off of his head. His baddie queues are comprised of 4 different types of baddies. We have our bog type baddies, which are the green. We have the scales baddies, which are like the dragons and stuff, in the teal. We have the orcs, which have the blue battle axes as their symbol, and then we have ourselves some goblins, and the goblins are always up to some mischief because they're big jerky jerks. We're little jerky jerks. I don't know, I guess goblins are smaller than orcs. That's a good question. Who's bigger, goblins or orcs? Things that I make you think about as you tune into Solo Playthroughs. That is right. Picket! What do we want to say about this dude? Well, Picket is a defensive whiz. He loves to get up his shield, loves to get up his defense. Getting to that innate +1 with Picket will be very important to us having a better chance as we go through this, and you will see why, hopefully. And if we do not get that innate +1, we will have to try to piecemeal some other kind of strategy, but Picket's defense dice are where it is at, and he loves to get a bunch of defense and smack someone over the head with some shield bash. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to put the 5-point baddies there. Now you notice these were pre-shuffled to some extent, so I'm not doing a full shuffle here on camera. Just had them splayed out so everyone can see the mix of awesomeness that we are up against. Some of you who are more, veteran Too Many Bonesers are going to be like, where are the rest of your baddies, Mr. Solo Playthroughs? And I do not have them yet, but I will be getting a bunch of new baddies in the Hoplomachus Victorum Kickstarter whenever that delivers. So hopefully that will be sooner rather than later this year. And then obviously, like most of you watching this, I'm guessing I'll be rounding out my collection in its entirety, it seems, with the Unbreakable campaign. The only thing I have not purchased on any level or any of the promos, and I do not have Splice and Dice coming my way. Maybe I will rectify that at some point, and maybe not. We'll see. Tons of Too Many Bones content the way it is. Anyone who owns both base game and Undertow, I do keep my baddie separate. I do not like to mix anything from those 2 games. It's just a matter of personal preference, but I totally get it if that's what you want to do in combining things. Good for you! That's awesome! So, I'm going to take the 2 Tyrant Encounters from Marrow. I have the 3 starter cards. We will have the generic 1, 2, and 3. I will not read the flavor text on that. If you really want to hear me read those encounters in my dulcet tones, you can go to one of my earliest Too Many Bones videos. I think I read them in both the Boomer and the first Picket videos I put up. The first Boomer video was against Nom, and the first Picket video was against Drellin, I believe. I don't know. Going back through the cobwebs of my mind. Picket's going to start with 5 health. I do play on the hardest mode, and I do not start with any training points. I just find that when I start with training points, the second half of the battle is just really not as fun for me. And I like actually the extra challenge in the first half as well. So this is just my level. My win rate suffers as a result of it. I will take that trade-off. I am going to shuffle up some of the loot. The yellow loot is just the regular loot. There are no lockpicks. This is just unlocked as soon as we get it. It's very exciting. If you are super new to this game, you only have spots for 4 loot throughout the game, unless you have 1 loot that says the word heavy. If it's heavy, it takes up 3 of your 4 slots, but usually they are quite worth it because usually they are quite strong. Not always. Some of them I'm like, why is this a thing I would ever take? But that's probably just more of a sign of me playing this game mostly at 1 or 2 players. I do love this game true solo. It does have separate encounters. I will probably start playing it more with 2 gearlocs as I get deeper and deeper into this game. But for now, especially for these videos, I'm going to keep it true solo for a few more videos, and then we'll see what we want to do. If you really want to see 2 gearlocs in action, I did do a 2-player game of Stanza and Duster against the Goblin Queen in Undertow, and yeah. I'll let you guess how that finished off. So we have a 12-day adventure. So what am I going to do? I'm going to shuffle up these solo encounter cards. They all say solo on the bottom. Thank you, Chip Theory Games, for making that super clear for us. And I'm going to take off 9. Why 9? Well, there's 12 days in this adventure. We have 3 starting cards. And yes, we have the Tyrant Encounters, but we are going to take the 12 minus 3. We end up at 9, and I'm going to take 9 off the top. Notice I am not using the day shield thing. I think that's silly. It just isn't what I want to do. So I will just be rolling a die to figure out what encounter card I'm using on any given day. So we have these 9 encounters. It is most of the solo encounters in the base game. Again, there are only 3 more. So we probably will see that annoying kid. Ugh. Yes, I'll get that out of my system. And I'm going to put the 2 Tyrant Encounters on top of this and the 3 special encounters here. Yummy. So that is a total of 14 cards. That's right. 9 plus 2 plus 3 is 14. I know my math, kids. So I'm going to get my D12 ready because we will need that as soon as we're done with the top 3 special encounters for days 1, 2, and 3. Let's get to it, kids. Day 1, leaving Obendar, blah, 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 blah. Exciting stuff. Now I can choose to get 2 training points, or I can get a training point, pick 2 loot, and choose 1. My friends, I'm going to take the 2 training points. That's super important. So let me put this off to the side. Day 1, I'm going to use this little bead we get in the box. It's going to be super upgraded in Unbreakable. Yay for stretch goals. And I'm going to take that just to indicate for the camera which of the 2 options I'm doing on any given day. So I'm going to take my 2 training points. Now, how do I want to start with Picket? Well, I will use the handy dandy beginner strat. I do find them helpful. And it says that I should first add 1 to hit points, and then attack, and then defense, and then dex in that order. And while we're here, let's read the Picket flavor text. Picket was born with a shield in his hands, and while he comes off as a bit overbearing at times, those in his party love the confidence and protection he provides. The sword he wields is well known in the land and is easily spotted by the blue topaz set in its hilt. I've got to get this ragtag bunch of long ears in line, and fast. That's right, Picket, get us in line. Or get yourself in line in the true solo game. I don't know how that works, but we're good. I'm gonna get to actually using these points in a second, I promise. But the one thing that drives me nuts with Picket in a true solo game is that 2-2-3-3-3-5 is brutal. That's such a bad innie die. You find yourself at the bottom of that line so many times. Again, this game's really swingy. You can definitely have days where you set the whole thing up and then just get knocked down before you have a turn. It comes with the game. It's kind of a feature more than a bug, and you just kind of get used to it, or you don't, and you find another game that you're going to like more. The thing that helps mitigate that, though, if you can roll your defense dice before anything happens, and, you know, hopefully you don't roll bones, bones, bones like that, and we'll kind of see me do that at least once today. I'm almost sure of it. I'm going to go and actually spend those 2 points now. The first thing I want to do is build up my attack, because 1 attack in a true solo game is not enough. I know I have shield bash, but come on, let me roll that. Oh, I succeed. Had I rolled the bones, that would have failed, and I could have tried again with the second point, but no need for those reindeer games. I'm going to put that there, and You know, 5 health could be nice, but I still want to get another dex because now I have 2 attack dice and 2 defense dice I can roll every turn. 2 dex is not going to cut it. I'm going to ignore the beginner strat suggestion, and we'll come back to get health, hopefully after we win the battle on day 2. Now, at the end of day 1, I'm going to go through the Gearloc Adventuring Reference Guide. Thank you, Reference Guide. You're really helpful. I don't know why I ignore you so much and forget to actually do everything on you, but I'm going to try not to do that in this playthrough. So here we're going to go. I'm going to trade loot with someone else in my party. Well, that's not happening. I can try to trade my loot for better loot. Well, that's not happening. I can do a lockpicking attempt. Well, I have nothing to pick. And then individual options. Well, I can rest and recover. I'm already at full health, so we don't need to do that. I can search for better loot. I don't have any loot to trade in to try to get better loot, or I can scout the area. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. I rolled a die. It's a 1. With a 1, 2, or a 3, I can scout the top baddie on the 1-point baddie stack. It is a bogpole. Yikes. Bogpoles aren't that awful, but poison can be really bad. It's a ranged baddie. I have no idea what else I'm going to be facing. I really don't want to see a ranged baddie just taking 1 true health away from me every turn. I have a lot of shield, but the shield doesn't do anything against the poison, so forget that. We're going to actually cycle that bogpole down to the bottom, where maybe he won't be that bad later when we're more beefed up and can probably take out a bogpole in 1 turn, or we'll have a skill to kind of deal with that, right? So that's done. We're now going to go to day 2. Day 2 has a lot more blah, 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 which is really, really fun. And we're going to try to show our worth to everyone in Obendar. We're not asking the guards for health. We're going to do option 2. Oh, we also got a progress point from day 1. That's right. We made progress, people. It was really intense. So day 2, we have a battle queue of what? 2, because we are on day 2. There is one of us. That's right. Just 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. You guessed it. And we're going to have 2 baddies. As a result, what is the top baddie? It is an Orc Scout, also a ranged baddie, but not a poison guy. He just comes in with 1 attack stat. He's going to be in lane 1. He's going to have 3 health, and we're going to put him back there in the ranged position. Good for you. We're going to have the next one. What is it? Oh, no. That's not great. It is a Dragon Hatchling. Also only rolling 1, so again, could be worse. Still feel pretty good about cycling that bogpole, and the Dragon Hatchling is going to go in the melee position in lane 2, right next to his orc buddy, and that's fine. The good thing about the keywords here, so rating's not going to trigger because there are no other orcs, and engulf could actually be used to our advantage. We just have to position ourselves right next to one of the baddies. So I have the blue die. It's going to be a 4 for the orc, and we're going to have the purple die. That's going to be a 6, which is the initiative of the Dragon Hatchling. I'm going to roll Picket's garbage die. He's going to roll a 2. Oh, it's a 3. He proved me wrong. Go you. You're still in last, Picket. It is what it is. And this is going to be the round die to show that we are going to start in round 1. Now, let me go through the skills a little bit more closely. So rating, this unit gains 1 extra attack die for each additional orc type baddie. Again, it's not going to trigger. And then engulf, all damage rolled by this unit also hits all adjacent units to target, including itself, as well as triggers reaction skills if applicable. So very, very nice. I am going to put Picket on any of the gearloc positions that I want. Additionally, what's my innate? Well, my innate is at the start of battle, I can roll all my defense dice and place them in my active slots. If I get to an A+1, I can also place defense dice in the lock slots. That's very nice when we can get there. So I'm rolling those. I rolled bones. As promised. I told you I was going to roll all bones for one of these rounds, and it's going to be round 1. Oh, that's awful. And hilarious and awful. Wow. Man, why am I so smart and predictable? Not necessarily the kiss of death yet, but far from great. I'm going to put myself here so I could maybe use engulf and wipe that guy out. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put myself there. Great. What's going to happen? Well, the dragon's going to go, and he's rolling 1 attack die, and maybe I'll roll a bones again. Oh, I rolled a 1. Well, I didn't roll a 2. That's impressive for me. And now the orc's going to go. The orc's rolling 1 die. It gets 1 damage off me as well. My turn. I'm going to move 1, and I can roll 2 dice. I need to get some defense here. I'm just going to roll 2 dice and try to get some shield. They're both only rolling 1 die each, and that engulf could be, my friend, more than my own attack dice, right? I rolled 1 shield and a bones. Woo, killing it, guys. We go to round 2. The dragon's gonna go, rolling 1 dice, maybe one of them will bones. It takes my shield off, but also does 1 damage to the orc. Awesome. The orc's gonna go, please roll a bones. It rolls 2 damage, I'm down to 1 health. We're gonna go to my turn. I'm gonna roll 1 attack die and 2 shield. Please roll some shields. 1 shield and 1 attack and a bones. Awesome. Oh, I should have another bones in my backup plan. That's right. Because I had a bones last time. So I do the 1 damage to the baddie. And now I have 1 shield. That could actually work really well. The orc is down to 1 health. We go to round 3. As long as I don't roll a 2 here, you're saying I got a chance, kids. So the dragon hatchling's rolling 1 die. It was a 2. That's amazing. Okay, so what happens when you die on day 2 and you're Greg? Well, you just restart, because that's just... it's not workable. I got it out of my system, let's say that. So I'm just gonna restart everything. That was fun. So that was a whole good game. We're going back to day 1. Never happened, nothing to see here. We're gonna take these guys, we're gonna reshuffle all this. That was just absolutely horrendous. I mean, just really bad. Even if I took that extra health, I still was not going to make it, kids. That was just awful. Awful, awful, and awful. That's really hard to do, to lose to those 2 baddies. The engulf would have actually killed the orc, right? Hey, welcome to this adventure with solo playthroughs. We're going to go through day 1. What's going to happen? I'm going to take 2 training points. Let me try to train my attack. I did. Look at that. Now I'm going to take, I don't know, let's do a dex. Cool. Day 1 was fantastic. Welcome to day 2 now, guys. Oh, wait, before I do that, I should scout. I rolled a 3. What is it? Oh, it's an orc peon. Oh, it's a melee baddie. We'll leave him there. Oh, he's scouted, so he should be face up. We go to day 2. Let's go. Hardly out the gate. We're doing some stuff. I'm choosing option 2. We have a battle queue of 2. The orc peon comes in. The orc peon is going to have the lane 1 marker and 3 health in a melee position. And then the next guy is a clay golem. Woo, a little bit harder than what we had last time. But, you know, last time went so well. What's this gonna do for us? We're gonna now go forward in the battle. I'm gonna roll my any die as Picket. I rolled a 2 because that's what I roll. And fortunately, we're still ahead of this clay golem, because the clay golem's any die is just as bad as mine. Well, he doesn't have an any die. His any position is just as bad as mine. The orc has a 3. So we are in round 1. Before the round, I'm going to get to roll my defense dice and hopefully not roll bones this time. I did it again. So that extra defense I get when it starts a battle, guess what? It doesn't do anything for me when I only roll bones. But I'm not frustrated, really. I'm going to put this here, and now we're going to start this battle. The orc peon is going to move 1, 2. He's going to attack me with 1 attack die. I rolled a 1. At least it wasn't a 2, because 2s are bad, and I kept rolling them last battle. So that comes off. My turn. I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense dice, and really just try to deal with this guy. Maybe get lucky and roll a 3. Oh, I got 2 shield. That is going to make a world of difference. We get 2 damage on this guy, and that is nice. The clay golem's going to move over. He's rolling 1 die. He rolls. It is a 1. It knocks my shield down from 2 to 1. One thing I need to be a little concerned about is I did reduce that orc down from his full health. Down 1. So when he's not at his full health, he's going to gain 1 additional attack dice. So he's going to be rolling 2 attack dice against me, and then hopefully I'll just wipe him out. We won't have to worry about that anymore. Now the golem has breaks. That means if I use any attack dice against the golem, that die is going to be exhausted. So virtually my attack number will go down by any exhausted attack dice, or any attack dice that are exhausted in that way. If I'm adjacent to the clay golem, I can still target it and roll attack dice against it. And then if it's not a 2, just maybe not accept the roll. But if I use the damage that's rolled in that die is indeed exhausted. Now we're going to go to round 2. In round 2, again, the orc has rage 1. He's pissed that he's not back at full health, and he's going to roll 2 dice. What does he roll? He rolls 2 1s, so I lose 1 shield, which is totally fine, and I lose 1 health. My turn. I'm going to gamble a little bit. I'm going to roll 2 shield dice and 1 attack die, and we're going to try to wipe out the orc. Please do not bones on the attack die. I did not. I did bones on the defense die, however, so that gets a bones. We have a shield there, and the 1 damage is enough to wipe out the orc. Defeated baddie stack. Here we go. We're now going to go to the clay golem's turn. Clay golem's rolling 1 die. It does 1 damage. Out goes my shield. This die can go out, and we go to round 3. So I have initiative here because the clay golem, again, his any die is really bad. So I'm going to try to set up a shield bash. I guess it's not going to be the easiest to get up to 5 though, that is for sure. So I will roll 2 defense dice and 1 attack die, and I'll only use the attack die against him if it indeed is a 2. So I'm targeting the golem. I rolled. I did not roll a 2. I got 2 defense. I did not get any bones, and I'm not going to use this against the golem because I do not want to exhaust it with only 1 damage coming off. The golem is now going to attack me. So the golem's attacking me with its 1 die. It rolls a 1. My 1 shield comes off. We go to round 4. So again, how am I going to beat the golem? We're going to have to use the fatigue rounds a little bit to our advantage, and hopefully that will work out. I have a dex of 3, but I already have a shield in my active slot, so I can't re-roll that unless I wanted to exhaust it to roll it. I do have 2 attack dice, so I'll roll that, and 1 defense die. And again, maybe we can get up to a shield bash here. So, ooh, bones. And I'm going to use this too. So my attack stat is now going to be just a 1 for the remainder of this battle. So I'll put this die here to remind me it's in the exhausted area of my little play area here. And that 2 damage will reduce the golem down to 3. The golem's now going to go. He's rolling 1 attack die against me. He rolls a 1. There goes all of my defense. We now go to round 5. So the next round after this will be the beginning of the fatigue rounds. I'm going to go. I'm rolling 2 defense dice and 1 attack dice. I have no other decks to do anything else. Not that I would want to do anything else. I have no other skills to roll. So this is all I could roll with my 3 decks. And let's see what I want to do. I'll tell you what, maybe going for a innate might be a strong idea. If I get a couple of bones here, I got 1 bones on the attack die, and now I have 3 shield here. I could shield bash and just end this, but I'm kind of looking at the innate. The problem if I go to innate, I could be really asking for it because I'm going to be whittled down. Realistically, I'm not going to be able to get my shield bash back up to actually do what I need to do here. I mean, an 8+1 is so important for Picket. I think it might be worth it. If I do it though, I'm just going to be toast. Toast my ghost. I really want my an 8+1, kids. It's not going to be that useful like the next round. It's going to be later in this adventure where you're really going to want it. I've really come to love Benevolence though too. And you heal Picket for 2, and then you added a 2 defense die to his active slot. It's very strong. One of the things that's so important about it, Picket's innate, this whole profession, this warden profession is kind of garbage if you don't get to Picket's innate, because you're having all the active slots totally jammed up. I mean, the other way to build Picket is you go all these lock slots. I just find the lock slots a little trickier to kind of pull off. They just require a little more setup. So the way I like to work with Picket, at least in a true solo game, is to really go with the warden profession. But if I don't get the innate +1, you really can't do that, at least in my experience in playing him. So I'm just basically prolonging the need to make a decision. I just don't think it's a good idea to continue to try to get to the innate +1. I just don't think the math's going to be there for me, but I also think there's like no risk in trying. So let's give it one more roll, right? And we'll see what happens. So the clay golem is going to roll an attack die against me. He rolls a 1. So this shield comes out. We are going to go to the next round. It's fatigue rounds. I lose 1 and the clay golem loses 1. Well, if I have any chance of doing this, I'm going to have to do it this way. Like, honestly, the risk is really low. I'll be rolling 2 defense dice, right? And if I roll any shields, I just apply it. If I only roll 1 bones, I can stun the target, right? So again, there's no risk here. I'm going to take this out, roll another defense die, roll an attack die. I rolled 1 bones because of course I did. Is what it is. Let's just end it now. So I'm going to put a shield in there, and shield bash always uses active roll dice too. So it's not like I can shield bash and then add a shield if you would want to do that later. So all dice are included in the shield bash is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to apply this 1 attack die. That's going to reduce that. So now I have 0 attack dice left because I have exhausted them both because of break. And now I'm going to do a shield bash. We're going to take this 1 die out, and that's going to finish off the golem. And that is fine. So did not get to the 8+1, which I was obviously trying to do, but we did not go down in dragon flames like we did the first attempt. So here we go. That was the shortest playthrough in solo playthroughs history, by the way. So congratulations. You have witnessed history here today. So now the battle's over. We're going to get our rewards. What are our rewards, Greg? Well, we're going to get 1 more progress point. So we are up to 2. On the progress point meter. I should get a die out there to keep track of that. And then we're going to get a loot for each gearloc, just the 1 for me. Thank you very much. It is a Zelfie root. It is a single battle loot. Heal yourself for 1 hit point at the start of each round during battle. Place this loot in the prep area as a reminder. So basically at the beginning of battle, I'd be like, I'm going to really want this. Thank you. And it can be very helpful. I have 2 training points. Well, I want a couple of things. And let me try to get an extra defense die, because sometimes that could be hard for me to get if I roll too many bones like that. That didn't work, so I'm going to go ahead and take another health stat, and that's going to give me another health chip. And now I'm going to try to train my defense again. I got it on my 2nd try, kids. Woo! Take me to a crab stable. That's amazing. So 1, 1, 1, 1. Cool. That is how we start the game. We will start to get to some skills in a little bit, but this is really where you want to be with Picket, at least in my experience, at least according to the beginner build strat by Chip Theory Games as well. So there's that. I'm going to go to day 3. Again, I've read it before. I will spare you the efforts of reading it again. I could get a trove loot. That's not going to happen. I'm going to take 2 progress points, and I'm going to roll a die. Do I roll a 1 or a 2? Say no, say no. I rolled a 3. Cool. So we don't have to worry about a Tyrant Encounter guaranteed being the next thing up. We get 1 progress point. With that progress point, I will take oh, by the way, so at the end of the second night too, I should have gone through the rest of the thing. I'm not scouting this time. I do need to get to full health, so I'm going to take that option instead. So here I am with 6 health. Went into day 3. I chose option 1. It gave me a training point and 2 progress points, 1 down here, 1 up there. And now I'm figuring out how I want to spend this training point. I could go back for a skill. My dex is only 3, and I do have 2 attack dice and 2 defense dice, so I think it makes the most sense to give me another dex, especially if I'm trying to chase that innate. The more dice I can roll, the more chances I'll have to get bones. I think that's going to be the next thing I want to do, and then maybe go health, and then, as promised, we'll get to those skill dice soon enough. Just hang on, people. So we have how many cards left in here? We've gone through 3. We started with 14, so we have 11. That's right. Advanced math continues on solo playthroughs, and I rolled a 9. So we narrowly avoid both of the Tyrant Encounters. I always count from the bottom as 1 up to the top. It just works for me the way I fan out my cards, and I'm a little weird. So what is this encounter card? What goes around? And now you're in for the treat of story time with Greg. Let's get to it. How unusual. Up ahead, I can make out a group of raiders robbing a lone Molnar trader. Molnar always have amazing goods, usually belonging to others. The original owners of those goods are typically the ones who need rescuing. Seems the boot is on the other foot for a change. Helping a black market trader seems wrong, but I also despise raiders. I could let the dust settle before picking off any stragglers, maximizing my spoils, and yet it would be nice to have the Molnar owing me for a change. So we have 2 options here. Option 1 is I can let them deal with Molnar, then attack. So I'll let the baddies kind of do their thing with a Molnar, and then I attack them, but they're kind of buffed up at that point, so I'd have to have baddie points and then add a 5-point baddie to the top. So it's day 4 right now. Don't forget that. So I'd have 4 1-point baddies. My bad. I did it again. At the end of day 3, I could have scouted. Boom, I scouted the 1-point baddie. That might help us decide what we want to do. It is a dragon whelp with weaken. Nope, weaken is not something I want to mess with in day 4. Day 4 is often the hardest part of a true solo encounter. So here we are. So I can get 4 baddies plus a 5-point baddie. All baddies start with 2 fewer hit points though, so that's a thing. Or I can defend the Molnar Trader. I add a 5-point baddie to the top of the battle queue, so I guess I'm doing that either way. Then I place 4 hit points on a gearloc melee position on the battle mat. Trader is friendly under your control, melee unit with 2 move and 2 attack. It takes its turn right after you. To succeed the encounter, the trader must survive. There is no freaking way I'm going to be able to keep 4 hit points alive when I'm barely going to be able to keep myself alive. So unfortunately, I will not be able to get the trove loot here. But if I succeed, I do get 2 regular loots, an additional loot, a training point, and a progress point. It's pretty nice. I'm going to let the baddies deal with the Molnar, then attack them. We have 5 baddies. One's going to be a 5-point baddie. Hopefully there's not a lot of signal. And then they all start with 2 fewer hit points. So that is really the only reason we have a chance at this one. So I have the 4 1-pointers. And then we get the 5-pointer. I am at the 4 progress points. So I'm going to make that die reflect that as well. And let's get to it. So the 5-point baddie is going to define a lot here. Let's see what it is. I'm scared. Oh, it's a goblin alarmist. I like see these dudes in my nightmares, man. The signal 3 is so stupid. Like it's incessant amount of 1-point baddies that we're just never going to see the end of. So yeah, if we win this battle, it's going to be fatigue rounds. I'm calling it now, kids. That is just how that's going to be. And that, my friends, is a losing battle. We'll take the any dice out. I'll recover my Picket die. And he's very sad because it was a sad day, but we still have 4 progress points. We're still on target. We're going to go to day 5. Again, I've already done the end of round sequence and healed. I didn't have any lock picking to do yet because I do not have a trove loot. So we are down to 10 cards. So let me get a D10 here. And what do I roll? It's a 2. Story time with Greg again. A dire situation. I predict some wolves in our future, kids. We are on round 5 and the dire wolves rolling 4 dice. And I'm super dead. That's awesome. So that loot goes away. I've lost 2 battles in a row. It's not looking good for the good guys. Do not get any more training points. I'm going to have to heal up to full health at the end of this. I'm up to 6. We go to day 6 and we pretty much have very little margin left. We're going to have to basically win the rest of the way out. Hopefully avoid that freaking annoying child. So 9 cards left. I rolled a 6, 9, 8, 7, and 6. Just out of reach. It's got to get lucky here. So it's going to be a 5-point baddie and 3 1-point baddies because it's going to be battle queue plus 2. Round 1. These come out. 5-point baddie. What's going on with you? Oh, it's a Boglurk. All right. I can't win. I'm quitting. We're going to start again. That's right. I can't deal with a Boglurk. I just can't. It's 3 true damage. I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. My shield is absolutely garbage against it. So that was not the most fun adventure. And Picket has got that smirk on his face because he just knows that we're about to restart. Take 3. Alrighty then. The exceedingly rare triple header, kids. We're trying 3 times at this sucker. Reshuffling the 1-point baddies. Those are now shuffled. I'm going to reset to 0. I'm going to draw new solo encounters. So 1, 2, 2. Can we get the other 3 that are over here? So we're getting 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to shuffle the Zelfie route back into the loot. Going to day 1. We're going to take training points. I'm going to try to train my attack stat. Of course I am. Boom. Let me roll an attack die. I succeed, so that's going to be a 1. And then we're going to take +1 to dex here. Done. You've seen this movie before. We're going to go to day 2. We're going to have 2 1-point baddies. I'm going to go the second option. They're going to be in lane 1. What do we have in lane 1? It is a clay golem. Clay golem comes into play with 5 health. It goes right there. What do we have in lane 2? It is going to be an orc scout. It's going to be a ranged baddie, and it has rating, but there are no other orcs, so we don't have to worry about that. Sucker's going to go right there. I'm going to roll my any die because why not? I get myself a 3. The clay golem is only a 2, and the orc scout is a 4. So the orc scout will be going first. Ding. And ding, I'm going to put myself on the battle map before I roll my defense dice. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go right there. Orc Scout's going to be rolling 1 attack die, and that's all it's got. Oh, wait, my bad. I'm going to roll my 2 defense dice. Please don't roll 2 bones. I rolled 1 bones and 1 shield. Again, bones does not go in my bones area. I cannot put that on my backup plan until we actually start the battle. The Orc Scout's going to roll his 1 die. It takes away my 1 shield. I'm going to move 1. I'm rolling 2 defense dice and 1 attack die. And I'm going to target the Orc Scout. Bam! Bones, bones. 2 damage. Orc Scout's down to 1. Fortunately, he has rating and not rage, so I think we'll be okay. We now go to the Clay Golem's turn. He rolls his 1 attack die, gives 1 damage to me. We go to round 2. The Orc Scout's going to attack me. He goes 2 damage to me, because of course he does. So I'm down to 2 health very quickly. My turn. I'm going to roll 1, 2 attack dice. Make sure I kill the Orc Scout. Nope. I'm going to roll 1 attack dice, 2 defense dice, and hope I don't bones any attack die. Don't bones. Good. 1 damage to the Orc Scout. I have 2 shields right where they belong. Orc Scout is out. Defeated baddie stack. I can take him out and we're good. We now go to the attack of the Clay Golem. It takes away 1 shield. And we go to round 3. So no more Orc to deal with. So I'm going to start off this round. I'm going to roll my 1 defense die because I already have a shield here. I'm going to roll these 2 attack dice. Now I'll not apply them unless I roll a 2. Did not roll a 2, but I get another shield. I did not get any bones, unfortunately. The Clay Golem is going to attack me with 1 attack die. It takes away a shield. We go to round 4. I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die again. Boom. Oh, bones, bones, and an attack. So what can I do? Well, I can do a benevolence, which is pretty sick. I can heal Picket for 2, and then add a 2 defense die to one of my active dice slots, but then I'm really gonna make it hard to do much else. I mean, am I really chasing the innate +1? Probably not. All right, let me do the benevolence. I'm going to use my backup plan. I get 2 health, and I add a defense 2 to one of my slots. We now go to the Golem's turn. The Clay Golem is going to attack with 1 attack die. It does 2. Woo! Glad I did that. I'm going to go. Picket's going to roll 1 defense die, 2 attack dice. I get a shield. I will not apply either of these, so I can still roll more. The Clay Golem's going to roll. Please do not roll a 2 again. It rolls a 1. 1 shield comes out. We go to fatigue rounds. In fatigue rounds, I take a damage. The Clay Golem takes a damage. I have 3 decks, so I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die again. Hey, there's a 2, and there's a bones, and there's a big shield. Great. So I'm going to apply the 2. My attack stat is now halved down to 1 for the rest of the battle, but that's fine. The Clay Golem is going to attack me. It's 1 damage. This shield comes out. Boom. We go to the next fatigue round. Clay Golem takes a damage. I take a damage. I'm down to 2 health. I'm now going to roll 1 attack die and 1 defend die. Please give me 1 bones. No, but it's fine. I have a shield, and I'm going to apply this attack stat to wipe the Golem out. Which is going to be more fun to do a shield bash, which is why I asked for a bones. But that's fine. Same result. End of the battle. Guess what? I get 2 more training points, and I'm going to get myself a loot. What's the loot? It's the skinning knife. People, of course it is. Before drawing your next encounter, place a defeated baddie from your most recent battle onto this card. Any baddies of that type appearing in your next battle are surprised. After battle, return baddie to defeated stack. Okay, that's fine. We are now going to get our 2 training points. I'm going to try to train my defense because that's important. I totally failed. I'm going to get a health instead. I'm going to try to train my defense again, and I failed again because that's what I do. Yikes. Well, since I failed that, and I don't want to try to train my attack stat again, it doesn't make any sense to get up to 4 decks at this point. I will try to get a skill. Let's try something new, people. I'll take the stand ground. It could come in handy, especially with my defense being so poor. The nice thing about standing ground is that reusable bones. So after it's used, it goes back to its skill slot. So we'll see how I want to pull that. I really would have loved a third defense stat though. But you know what? After it worked so well for me last game, maybe it's time for something new. We're gonna go to the next day, day 3. I'm going to choose the first option again so we can try to maximize progress points. We are up to 4 already. It just gives us a little bit more leeway in case something does go wrong. Obviously, it can't go as wrong as the last game. There is a level of too much wrong. I'm going to roll a d6. Did I roll a 1 or a 2? I did not. I rolled a 6. At the end of day 2, by the way, I would have healed up to my full health, which is now 6. So that's done. So I got my 2 more progress points. I'm going to get another training point. I'm going to try to enhance my defense. I failed again. So good. I'll get my dex up to 4 because I have the stand ground now, and being able to roll that often might come in handy. Great. We go to day 4. At the end of day 3, though, I will have an opportunity to scout. What do we get? It's a 1. Top of 1 point baddie stat. It is a Cobalt Green Thumb. Do not hate him. We will keep him right where he is. Day 4, I'm going to roll my d12 because there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 encounter cards. That's perfect. I rolled a d12. We get a 1. That's right. Number 1, the Sky Bridge. It's a cakewalk. At least that's what I tell myself as I hang on for dear life 1,000 arrow lengths up in the sky. Unfortunately, this ancient rope bridge connecting the 2 mountain ridges is more ancient than it is bridge. There's an unknown party on my tail and a trading post waiting beyond the ridge ahead. Only seconds remain to make one of 2 ill-advised choices. I could turn and fight on this tangle of rotting rope and wood. The other option, hightail to the other side while dodging arrows from behind. If I make it, I can cut the ropes and send my pursuers on a one-way trip to the bottom of the canyon. So I could line them up and try not to throw up. Baddie points, add 2 baddie points to your total. So I'd be up against a 5 and a 1, which honestly, as long as it's not a dire wolf and a dire wolf pup, might not be that bad. Battles restricted to lane 1 for both sides, and you fight only 1 baddie at a time. The remaining baddies wait in the battle queue. Or I can scramble across the bridge, go against the battle points, which is going to be 4 1-point baddies. Reveal baddies for every ranged baddie. Roll 2 attack dice and remove hit points from your gearloc. I must survive for success. Oof. I mean, so it's 4 baddies. Chances are I would survive that. But battle's more fun. I mean, this guy is not awful. The problem is I only have 2 attack dice. I just don't know what that 5-point baddie is, right? I don't know what he is. Yeah, the Cobalt Green Thumb isn't my problem. But maybe the loot could be good. Nah, I want to battle. I mean, it's probably a bad idea, but we're going to battle. Great. We get a 5-point baddie. What is our fate? I don't know. We'll find out in a second. This suspense, people. I'm building suspense. Just go with it. So this goes here. Oh, add 2 baddie points to your total. Oh, be it 8. Right. No, right. Because it'd be 4 to 6. Yeah. So the 5. Right. So I already did the math. Stop freaking out, Greg. It's fine. So 5-point baddie is the Goblin Sapper. Ooh, the Mischief 2 with Signal 1 is no bueno. Yikes. Well, shoot, this is a bad choice. So we have 5 health. The Mischief 2 is definitely not what I wanted to see here. And this guy doesn't come in yet. He just waits. I'm going to live to regret this because that Mischief 2, it doesn't matter how many defense dice I roll. They're both coming out. Because I roll really well, people. I roll really, really well. Yikes. I need to roll a 5. 5. I rolled a 5. We got a chance. So it's a 5. And the dude has a 4. I don't like our chances, but they're a lot better now. So I'm going to roll 4 dice. Doling defense dice doesn't make any sense unless I'm trying to get bones for a shield bash. Wow. So this was one of my lock slots. So if I can roll that right at the bat, that's 1 health back every turn. It's basically a selfie route, built-in selfie route. Let's see how this goes. The good thing is this dude does not have any defense dice. So I'm going to be able to eat into him pretty quick. But again, he's taking all my defense dice in the process. I am just going to need to roll 5 damage and 4 dice. That's the only way I'm winning this, right? So I'm going to roll this, and this. 4 dice. Come on. Make it hurt, buddy. Make it hurt. Boom. Interesting. So I do 1 damage, and then I have this and a bones and this 1 shield. So I can use that reusable bones immediately to do a shield bash. This goes back here. That's another damage. So we got him down to 3, but I do not get the health back that I was really hoping for. Great. He's got a signal. He's attacking me with 3 attack dice. Please roll at least 1 bones. Or roll a 5. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, he rolled a 5. That's great. That's great. So I'm down to 1. Whoo. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's great. We go to round 2. Just like that. Just that easy, kids. That easy. 2 attack dice, 1 defense dice, and the stand ground. That's what I got. Roll a 3. Oh, I did it. 3 damage. He's out. Out. And a reusable bones here, which is not great. I'm going to put this down here. I got the shield here and 3 damage. We knocked him out. Man, I have 1 health left. I really need a stand ground to come through because otherwise we're in trouble. He's knocked out. We go to round 3. This Cobalt Green Thumb comes into play with 3 health. So he's going to lane 1 as well. Because again, we're on a bridge. We're on a very narrow bridge. We're going to attack with 2 attack dice. Now the Cobalt Green Thumb has hardy. So we're only doing 1 damage at a pop. I'm going to roll this defense die and this stand ground. I would like at least 2 defense in case I rolled a 2 for the Cobalt Green Thumb. Oh, that's a nice roll. So we got 2 defense. We got a reusable bones, which I still don't want because I really want that extra health every round. And I will take this 1 bones, however, and I'll use this 1 attack die to wipe out the Cobalt down to 2 health. The Cobalt attacking me with 1. Rolls a 2. I lose my 2 defense. It's amazing. We go to round 4. The problem is I cannot survive a single fatigue round unless the stand ground comes in, which it should come in, I don't know, 1/3 of the time. So my turn. Math. I'm going to roll 2 attack dice, 1 defense die, because I can't roll 2 because I already got 1 on my active slot, which I'm not moving, and stand ground. Please come in for me. Yeah, buddy. That's nice. So we get that. We get another defense die. We get another bones, and we do 1 damage. That's really nice. This could work, maybe, sort of. Green Thumb's going to attack me. Please don't roll a 2, Mr. Green Thumb. He rolls a 2. I'm really losing my mind right now. We go to round 5. Whoo! All right, get 1 health back. That will go there. Great. I'm rolling 2 defense dice, and I'm rolling 2 attack die. And we just need 1 more damage to wipe this sucker out. What do we get? All right, we get 2 defense, another bones, 2 damage. Green Thumb, thank you for playing. You are out. Now we go to the fatigue rounds. We get the last baddie on the play. Remember, he was signaled in by the Goblin Sapper. It is an Orc Peon. Of course, he's going to have rage because that's like one of the only things that could be bad for us, but we are really set up for a shield bash anyway, which is totally fine. So he's going to come in with 3. Oh, fatigue's going to affect him as well. So he'll have 2. I'm down to 1. So I had to do it on this turn anyway. I'm going to roll my dice. I can roll 2 attack dice and a defense die. That's cool. I get a bones. I get 3 attack. We have wiped. Oh, we would have got a health back before. We have wiped out the peon and we did it. So amazing. That was great. All right, cool. We're alive. That was huge. I should have just done option 2, but you know, that's not fun for video. So I'm going to get 1 training point, which gets us up to a 5. I get 2 more stats. These all come out, unfortunately. I mean, I could do benevolence and give myself 2 more health. I might as well. I think I'm probably going to heal up at the end of this round anyway. So I'm going to get 2 more training points and I get a loot because I did option 1. That is right. Loot, what are you? Be worth it. It was a multi-tool. During anyone's lockpick attempt, add 1 to the action die result. Okay, that could be helpful if I ever got a trove loot, but probably isn't happening. I have 2 more training points. Please train my defense. Oh my god. Oh, I'm just destined to have 2 defense this entire game. Am I not? Am I not? I am. I will just do the captain profession, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Let's go with shield form, kids. Shield form number 2. That's right. Nice thing about shield form is that it gives you just reduce damage by 1 every time. It's super awesome, but it does get exhausted when you do a shield bash, right? So we're going to have to contend with that. I'm going to now try to train my defense one more time. Oh my, 2 bones. It's so great. I'm going to take a health. That's what I'm going to do. I'm up to 7 and now I have 5. I will probably heal anyway. I don't know if scouting is worth it. Yeah, let me get up to 7 health. Yikes. Just try to make myself like a tank. I mean, I could go for more attack stats, but I don't think that's the way I'm going to pull this off. I mean, defense dice is the key way to get those bones. I mean, you do get the reusable bones out of this. You know, I have this. Let me not take the health. I'll heal up at the end of the turn anyway. Let me try to train the attack with a 5-pointer. That could be pretty important just to get more bulk damage. I do succeed. So that's a weird build. But if I rely on shield form and 2 defense dice, you know, maybe we can get a little lucky here. All right, done. We're going to day 5. We have 5 progress points already. We are in day 5. I'm going to roll my D10. There's only 10 of these suckers left. I rolled an 8. 10, 9, 8. Barely avoided the Tyrant Encounter once again. What goes around? How unusual. Up ahead, I can make out, we saw this one last time. It didn't go that well for us, but here we are again. So what's the battle queue? The battle queue is going to be 5 points plus a 5-point baddie. We are definitely not doing option 2. So we have 2 5-point baddies that we're going to have to deal with. I am going to do the skinning knife, right? So before battle, I can place a defeated baddie from my most recent battle onto this card. Any baddies of that type appear in your next battle are surprised. I want to surprise the heck out of a goblin because that mischief is awful. So I'm putting this baddie and they are surprised. So if the baddie gets surprised, it means that they move below all opponent units. So they're just going to move below Picket no matter what the heck he rolls. So that could be really, really important. Again, this has 3 uses. So this is my first use, second use, and then you're out of here, sucker. That's fine. So we use the first use like that. And you have to do that before you look at the queue. Again, there's only going to be 2 baddies, so chances I miss, it could play really huge if either one of these on my hand is a goblin. So the first 5-point baddie is a Boglurk. No, the Boglurk has 6 health. The Boglurk's going to go in a ranged position in lane 1. Does make me happy about loading up on the fence. That could come in handy. We'll see if we have a shot at this. And then the next one is an Orc Rager. Oh, they do come in with 2 less health too, so this Rager is going to start triggering. Yikes. So raiding, but that's not going to be our problem. That big problem is going to be the Rage 2, which means that it's going to be attacking us with 4 dice, not just 3. So I might want to try to knock him out early. He's going to be in a melee position in lane 2, and again, he comes in with 3 health. The Boglurk comes in with 4. Whew. All right, here we go. Where am I going to start? Well, clearly I'm going to try to wipe out this Rager, feeling even better about the fact that I have 3 attack dice. I'm going to roll my any die for myself. Please get me higher than a 3. I rolled a 3. Oh, I'm telling you, it's turning around, kids. It's turning around. 3rd time's a charm. That's what I'm saying. So we have this dude comes in with a 3. We have the Boglurk up there with a 4, which is still ahead of me because he's a jerky jerk. That's fine. Our rounds are numbered by that poison, that's for sure. No signal at all. I'm just going to put this over there because that didn't matter, but I'm still glad I did it. And now we go to the Boglurk. What's it going to do? Well, it's just going to simply put a poison 2 on me. Awesome. We go to my turn. Well, 2 true damage, and at the beginning of turn effects, you can do whatever order you want. So I'm going to take the true damage from the poison first, then this ticks down to 1, and then I'm going to get a health back because of the stand ground die. So this game's really flexible, and when it comes to like start of turn effects, you can do them whatever order that's most advantageous for you. So it's a nice part about having the stand ground die in. It lasts for the entire adventure. It doesn't come out at the end of a battle unless you're knocked out. and I'm going to be able to prolong pretty much double the amount of turns I have, even with that poison 2 happening until I kill that jerk. So we go to my turn. My dex is only 3. I think I really need to try to kill this dude. That is absolutely my best course of action at this point. So I'm going to roll 3 attack dice, and I'm going to roll just the 1 defend die. And my dex is only a 4. Actually, you know what? The defense die is not going to do anything for me if I don't wipe out this Rager. Rager's only 4 dice. Yeah, I'll roll this 1 defense die just in case I don't roll 3 attack. I don't know. I mean, the shield form is probably not worth it. I mean, that's one argument. I roll 2 defense dice because they're more likely to roll bones than the attack dice, right? I roll 1 attack die and I roll shield form. There's a good chance I can wipe him out that way, but I would need some magical numbers. I think the more straightforward is I just roll this, hope I do not roll any bones with my attack dice. What do I get? Oh, 5 damage. I'm just like one of the baddies that I roll for. So this dude is out. That was very, very nice. So done. This goes. I feel like a genius for getting that 3rd attack die. And now we go to round 2, and it's just us in this bog. Lurk, jerky jerk. He is going to do what? He poisons 2. We get to my turn. I'm going to lose 2 health. I get 1 back because I stand ground. This goes down to poison 1. I have 4 dex. I'm going to move 2. And then I'm just going to roll 2 attack dice because what? Defense dice don't do much for me at this point. So rolling these 2, bam, I do 2 damage. We got the lurk down to 2 health. We go to round 3. The lurk gets me up to poison 2. I'm going to lose 2 health, get 1 back, so I'm just going to take 1 off. My turn, I'm rolling these 2 attack dice, 1 defense die, and shield form. And what do we get? Ooh, I get 2 movement every turn if I want it. I have 1 shield. Don't know if I really want that +2. I think I'd rather put this back and we'll deal with that next turn. Because again, this is also for the rest of the battle, but that's just a lot of movement I don't think is going to be as helpful as getting that +1 shield every turn. So we're just going to do the 2 damage and wipe this dude out. I'm starting to wonder, maybe I want that movement. Nah, don't think so. It's really hard to get too far away from these baddies when there's so many of them and there's only 1 of you. So that's out. That's out. Cool. This poison die comes off. We won another battle, kids. So we're going to get 3 loot, and I will get that in succession here. So the first loot we're going to get is a flare distraction. Before facing a battle encounter with battle Q, baddie points reduce it by 3. Could be nice. The next loot is mixed berries. Heal yourself for 3 points in battle or 5 out of battle. That could come in huge. And the last loot is, now I'm full. I'm going to have to drop something if I want to take it. The I got herbs. Heal yourself for 1 in battle. Bye-bye multi-tool. I don't have any loot to use you on. So, of course, I'm going to get 1 next, and I'll regret doing that, but I feel good about that for now. We get 1 progress point, which gets us up to 6, and I'm going to go ahead and get a training point. Guess what I'm going to try to train, people? I should just take a dex at this point. Now, I need to get these defense up. This comes out, by the way. Let me get the defense up, please. I did. All right, cool. Well, obviously, I'm going to need dex in a huge way the next time I can train. But for now, I'm happy that I finally got my defense up to 3. And since I don't have my innate, I don't know. It's like I'm kind of getting away from the warden profession here and kind of sticking with captain. So let's go to day 6, shall we? This comes off, this moves over. We have 9 left because we've gone through 5. I'm gonna roll a d10. I rolled a 5, still avoiding the tyrant encounters. Don't hate that. Trust your gut. Rarely do I second guess my gut, but today might be the day. An inevitable battle awaits me up ahead, but there are 2 distinctly different camps blocking the way. The first appears to be filled with swarms of underlings and new recruits. The second camp, though less populous, only contains burly and battle-tested foes. While I enjoy hacking and slashing my way through countless Ebon as much as the next gearloc, at some point I will run out of steam. My gut says to second guess my gut, but my gut is also very hungry, and now my head hurts. Oh, so funny. All right, I'm a sucker for good old hack and slash. Battle points equals 1 point baddies only. So we'd have 6 1-point baddies. For the first 3 rounds of battle, any baddies that are defeated are added to the bottom of the battle queue. Or I've got some speed, time for some knitting. 2 5-point melee baddies. For this position, you may move up to 3 positions, ignore dex at the end of your turn. That's probably better, right? I mean, oh, I would have had a heal. Again, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I forget to do it every time. All right, so I healed at the end of the last day. Oh, man. Yeah, having 4 baddies is whacking away at me just seems like a bad idea. I think I'd just rather deal with the 2. Of course. Well, they're melee baddies too, so they're less likely to have like signal and stuff like that. I don't know if I've ever seen this encounter, to be honest with you, and I played this a lot, so that's weird. Just random things that happen sometimes. All right, this is out. I'm just stalling. I have so much health healing abilities. This flare distraction is not going to do anything for me. What did I kill last turn? Maybe the skinning knife doesn't make any sense. I didn't kill a goblin last turn, so I won't use the skinning knife. I will go with option 2. Uh-oh. I'm nervous. I don't know if I made the right choice, but we'll find out. So is it a melee baddie? It is a melee baddie. It's an Orc Rager. Is it a melee baddie? It is a melee baddie. It's a Cobalt Elite. So he's hardy and compound, so he's going to get nasty. But rating's not going to trigger for this guy. And if I don't do any damage to him, he'll only have 2 dice at me every turn. So I probably should try to deal with this Cobalt Elite. The problem is I have no way to like poison him or anything. So it's going to take a full 5 rounds to do much damage to him. So this is where this +2 from the shield form might actually come in handy if I happen to re-roll that, right? So the Orc Rager is going to come in. I'm going to put this here and this here. So I'm going to put myself here because I do need to do damage to that guy. I mean, the other thing is I could just try to run from him and have him be wiped out by fatigue, but that seems like a terrible idea. So I won't. I finally have 3 defense stats, so I can roll 3 of these. I get a bones, which doesn't do anything for me, and just 2 shield. Let me roll my any die, and please roll a 3 again. No, you rolled a 2. You're the worst. No, that's fine. I mean, it's not great. Yeah, I'm getting whacked by both of them. I'm taking 3 attack dice no matter what. Oh, it's bad because that's another round of getting walloped by him. It is. So round 1, we have a 3 in lane 1. We have a 3 in lane 2. We are gonna get walloped. So the orc's gonna come down. He's rolling 2 attack dice. He has his full health, so he doesn't get any more, and he has no buddies on the mat, so we're good there. He only does 1 damage, so I lose 1 shield. That is very nice. The Cobalt Elite's only rolling 1 because he's compound, and it is only the first round. He does 1 damage too. Thank you both for cooperating. I gain a health back at the beginning of my turn. Don't even need it. That's right. My dex is only 4. That's really bad. I'm going to roll 1 attack die, 2 defense die, and shield form. And that's going to give me hopefully the ability to do 1 damage to the Cobalt. So I'm getting a little risky here. If I roll a bones in this attack die, I'm going to have to audible and figure something else out. I did not. So +1 shield. Love to see it. Again, reduce total damage done to you by number. Lasts for the entire adventure. So every time I get damage done to me, I reduce it by 1, and then I apply the rest of my defense. Super nice. I have 1 bones, defense 2. I do 1 damage to the Cobalt Elite. We go to round 2. That was a magical roll, man. I'm very happy. So the Rager is going to roll 2 attack dice at me. What does it roll? 2 damage, reduced by 1, becomes 1 damage. This shield goes from a 2 down to a 1. The Cobalt Elite, rolling 2 dice at me because it's the second round and he's a big jerk. What happens? It's 2 damage, becomes 1 damage, shield goes off, and we're good. Oh, I had to move 3. Obviously, I did not want to use it. I just can't get attacked by the Cobalt Elite, right? He's going to be rolling more and more dice every turn. So I do have this move 3 positions at the end of my turn. That's pretty strong. I did forget about it, but I don't think I would have needed to do it anyway. So I'm going to roll. I can't really risk missing anymore, right? And now that I have this, I'm not as worried about shields. So I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and 2 defense dice. Make sure I don't bones out on an attack. Oh my lord. As I was saying, I'm going to roll 4 bones. Wow. That's something else. Well, I'm going to put these 4 in. I could do benevolence just to give myself a 2. I don't think it's worth it. And now I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 as per the rules of the scenario. I rolled 4 bones. Of course I did. Round 3. All right, the Rager's going to move over and is going to roll 2 attack dice because it still has full health. Great. So 2 attack dice. It does 2 damage. Reduced to 1. I take 1 damage. I'm down to 5. The Cobalt Elite is going to go 1, 2. My turn. I'm going to heal 1 at the beginning of my turn. I'm going to move 1. 3 more decks. I'm going to roll 2 shield and 1 attack die. Could shock him. I could do this actually. This is smarter. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, and I'm rolling 1 attack die against the Cobalt Elite. Not a bones. 1 damage. At the end of my turn, I have 3 movement. 1, 2, and 3. That's a cool little move. I like that. Round 4. It's a lot of bones. The Rager is going to move 1, 2. The Cobalt Elite is going to move 1, 2. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Roll 1 attack die. Bones. Oh, man. It's going to last 2 fatigue rounds now. Wow. I could do a do-over. I could do a benevolence. I could do a lot of things. I could do my innate+1. I just don't know how much the innate+1 is actually going to help if I have this captain profession going nuts, right? Except that just means I can roll extra dice. If I do an innate+1 and then I move 3, he still attacks me. I think getting him down and only lasting 1 fatigue round is going to be way more important because he's going to start rolling 4 dice. Yeah, I'm going to take away 3. When you do a do-over, you can re-roll any number of rolled dice once. So I'm going to do a do-over. These 2 move over. I really want to get damage on the Cobalt Elite. I rolled a bones again. Dude, I moved 3 into that corner. Woo! Round 5. The Rager comes down. He attacks me with 2. 3 damage reduced to 2 damage, down to 4. The Cobalt Elite comes over, doesn't reach me. I'm going to heal 1 because of stand ground. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, and I roll 1 attack die. Hey, I did the damage. Down to 3 there. I'm going to use the Agat Herbs. I have 3 uses there. Get me back to max health. And then I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 because of the counter rules. We go to fatigue rounds. Cobalt loses a health. Loses a health. I lose a health. Don't need to attack the Cobalt again. He will just die next round. And whatever I should have done that innate+1. Now that I'm looking at this, the Rager is going to move 1, 2. He's now going to be attacking me with 4. The Cobalt Elite is going to move 1, 2. I got a health back. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Again, in Undertow, all baddies get diagonal movement of fatigue rounds. It doesn't apply in the base game, so this is good. I'm going to roll 1 defense die because I still have a dex. It's a 2, so that will help for setting up a shield bash. We go to next fatigue round. The Cobalt Tracker is out. The Rager is down 1 health. I'm down 1 more health. The Rager moves 1, 2. I'm going to move 1. I'm going to attack. I get a health back. If I do a shield bash, I'm going to lose a perpetual shield. So maybe try to save that for next battle. So I'm just going to roll these 3 attack dice. And I have no more dex. I do have that. So worst case, I do a shield bash and I'll have 3 and I can kill him that way. I do want to try to save that. I do 4 damage. The Rager is out. that came together. I might regret not doing that on A+1, but I just feel like I played it safe and I don't regret that. And this comes out, this comes out. I get a loot. It is a tattered map. I'm going to get rid of the agate herbs. We are going to get 2 training points. I am going to desperately need a dex, so that could be 5 dex. This defense die also comes out. Well, before I train the dex, let me try to train defense again. I failed, so I get a dex. I'll try to train defense again. I succeed, so my defense is up to 4. So my dex is very much not as high as I would want it, but I think I'd rather do that, get myself some options, and give myself a little more leeway when it comes to rolling defense dice, more chances to get shields. There's a lot of things that could happen that I like with having that extra defense when you're Picket. See if I have another opportunity to get that in A+1, because at some point I'm going to exhaust and do a shield bash, right? That's going to come out, but still feel pretty good about where we're at. So we're up to 7. Again, we need to get up to 10, and we are going into day 7. It's coming together, maybe. So we have 8 left in here. So let me get a D8. Roll that. I rolled a 1. 1 is a hot number today, kids. Just out of reach. We already read that, I think, right? Yes. So Brave the Open Air, baddie points, add 2 points to the baddie queue. So we are on day 7. So it would be a 5er and 4 1ers. Any ranged baddies start at the top of the inning meter. Now, again, I don't want to use the skinning knife on an orc or a bog type baddie, so I don't love that. I could do the flare distraction, which is a single use, and I would just get a 6 and a 1er. I kind of like that idea, actually. I'm getting a loot back anyway. Could have used a tattered map. Did not. Yeah, no, I'm good. Use a tattered map next time, maybe. Tattered map, I think, giving you real options for later almost makes more sense. But maybe I can, you know, get rid of that silly child at some point. So I'm going to do the flare distraction, reduce this down to a 6-point battle queue. And so we'll just have a 5 and a 1 because it's battle queue was 7. We add 2, we subtract 3. And I will do option 1 for the progress point. I mean, surprise is nice though, but I'll have so much defense. I'm going to do the top option and just like make sure we get those 3 more progress points. I think the flare distraction made that a lot easier. So we'll see if I made the right choice. It is a Cobalt Fanatic. So Hardy, Inspire 1. He's got 6 health, but he's only rolling 3 attack dice, which is a lot, but it's a lot better for me when I have that. It also means I'm less likely to be using a shield bash, right? Because this sucker isn't going to take that much damage in one turn anyway. So here's a 6 health for this dude. He goes into here. Now that Inspire 1 is a little bit worse because it means the next baddie is going to go immediately. There's another baddie in the battle queue that has a lower initiative. It's going to actually go right after him and roll 1 more die because it's Inspire 1. So that's something to be aware of. So let's see what it is. It is a Cobalt Tracker. So Inspire is not going to matter anyway because the Cobalt Tracker is obviously going to go first. Any ranged baddie start at the top of the inning meter. Well, this sucker was starting at the top of the inning meter anyway. Also happens to be hardy and is compound as well, but it shouldn't last more than a round anyway. So we're going to put their innie dice in place. In lane 1, the Cobalt, whatever his name is, has a 3. I think that's the Fanatic. And then we have the Cobalt Tracker has a 6. That will go there. I am going to roll my any die. Please higher than a 3. It's a 3. Yes. Done. And we're good. I'm going to put myself on the battle mat here. Oh, wait. I had full health at the end of last battle. I could have absolutely scouted. Well, I did a 5 and a 1. I would have kept both of those. I'm not scared of 2 health. And you could do a lot worse than that. So maybe I rolled a 6. I didn't. So I would have scouted that and kept it. So Greg, you got to remember to do the end of turn sequence. I know one day I will attain mastery of the end of turn sequence. That day, however, is probably not today. So I'm going to roll my 4 defense dice. Now remember, I can only slot 3 of them because I do not have my innate +1. And I only rolled 2 defense anyway. Power and numbers, kids. Power and numbers. So the Cobalt Tracker is going to attack us with 1 attack die. That's a defense die, Greg. Get with it because it's compound. Boom, 2 damage. Bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye. I almost said bye-bye 2 defense, but remember, that 2 damage is reduced to 1 damage, and this comes out. My turn. I'm going to move. I have 4 more decks. I'm rolling 2 attack dice, 2 defense dice. See what happens. I rolled 3 bones and a 2. Killing it with these bones, guys. It is literally too many bones for me today. I made a comment on a Facebook group the other day that it was sometimes this game for me is not enough bones. I want more bones. But I can't really say that with the last few rolls I've just had. The 4 bones in 1 turn was super special. So what's going to happen now? The Cobalt Fanatic is going. It's attacking me with 3 dice. This is going to sting. Yeah, it is. Bam. 3 dice. 3 damage becomes 2 damage. I lose a shield. I lose 1 health. We go to round 2. The Cobalt Tracker is attacking me with 2 dice now. It does 1 damage and a bones. I'm down to 4. I get 1 back because of stand ground. I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and 2 defense dice. I'm going to finish off the tracker. I got a bones and 1 damage and 1 shield. Not super great, but tracker's out. And now the Cobalt Fanatic is rolling 3 dice. It definitely cannot knock me out on this turn. I still have my mixed berries, which I would like to save. Now I could do a shield shock and just shock that dude for a round, which might not be the worst idea. We are going to have to win this in fatigue, don't forget. So 3 attack dice. Oh, just those 2 damage, not bad. So I lose my 1 shield and I lose 1 health. We go to round 3. Oh wait, 2 damage. I don't lose a health because again, the 2 damage became 1. This hardy stuff's actually really fun with Picket. I'm enjoying this matchup very much. Well, on the third attempt. My turn. It's round 3. I'm gonna roll 2 attack dice and 3 defense dice against the Cobalt Fanatic. And 1 bones. I get a health back at the beginning of my turn. So I'm up to full health. 2 shield, 1 damage. Should be able to get my innate +1 by the end of this. The Cobalt Fanatic attacks me with 3 dice. It does 2 damage, reduced to 1. I lose a shield. We go to round 4. I'm rolling 2 attack dice and 3 defense dice. Again, my dex is 5. My defense value is 4, so I have 1 there, so I still can roll 3 more. Nice, so I get a shield of 2. I do 1 damage. I'm going to do this here. I get 6 bones. That's going to give me my innate +1. I have another bones. The Cobalt Fanatic is attacking me with 3 dice. 4 damage is reduced to 3. All my shields come out. Now remember, I can add rolled defense dice into my locked slots as well. We go to round 5. I get a health back. I'm back to full. I'm going to roll 4 defense dice and an attack die. That seems excessive. I'll roll 2 attack dice and 3 defense dice. Oh, maybe it wasn't excessive. Bones, bones, bones. So I'm going to do 1 damage to the Cobalt Tracker. And then I'm going to use my backup plan of Benevolence. I'm going to heal 2. The heal is not going to matter, but I am going to give myself a shield 2, which would just be super safe here. The Cobalt Tracker is rolling 3 attack dice. It does 5 damage, reduced to 4 damage. This comes out, and 2 damage to Picket. We go to fatigue rounds. Lose a health, heal a health. I'm going to roll 4 defense dice and 1 attack die. I mean, the way I've been hitting bones has been really scary. I have these mixed berries. I really don't want to use them. Let me make sure I do 1 more damage here. I mean, I'm just so spooked. I keep rolling bones so bad. I mean, I could just run and be guaranteed to win that way. Right? Because if I go 1, 2, 3, That's the play. Let's just be smart. Let's not open any door. There you go. There, with a shield. Cobalt Tracker comes here, here. We go to the next round. Lose a health. Lose a health. Gain a health. Picket's going to go 1. And I am going to roll 3 attack dice and 1 defense die. That will do it. Cobalt Tracker is out. Done and done. All right. So we're going to just heal up this time. So I'll just get back to 6 health. I did my end of turn sequence. Totally out of order, but you know, I did it this time. So there's that. I'm going to get a loot from the bottom of the card, 2 training points and a progress point. So we're up to 8. I'm going to get this loot. I do have a spot for it. It is a gadget arm. If a training attempt fails, I may make another attempt. Don't hate that. 2 uses there. I'm going to get the training points now. So I get 1 because I chose option 1, and I get 1 because of the bottom of the card. I'm going to train my dex, get that up to 4, and I will get up to 7 health. My dex is still less than my attack plus defense. I could try to get Sword Advance and just really own the captain skill set. There's not going to be enough room to really go into the warden profession too much. I love the warden profession so much. I mean, there is some argument. I mean, you try to get the confidence, get some extra shield. It could work for, you know, a huge shield bash. But again, with these 2 locked in for a while, it's not much else going on. It really is kind of pretty tracked. And though the nice thing is I am at my Ace +1, so that makes me happy. And, you know, it's a lot easier to do when you're rolling that many defense dice. This goes away. So we have gotten a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. So 1, 2, 6, 10. Yeah. So 12 points in 7 days is really, really nice. And now we're going to go to day 8. I'm going to use a tattered map so I can actually draw 2 encounter cards. And the one that I don't use will just go on the bottom of the deck. So for me, I'm just going to put that like sideways to know that we just don't draw that again. So what are my 2 options? Again, there are 7 left here. And I really don't want to see that ridiculous child. So we rolled that. It's an 8. There's only 7 left. 8's not going to be helpful. So we're going to roll this again. It's still an 8. And now it's a 6. So this would be a Tyrant Encounter. So let's absolutely roll this again. There's only 6 left. Let me roll a D6. I'll roll the Chip Theory Games D6. It's a 4. I don't think I want to do this Tyrant Encounter. So getting out of hand, what is this even? Yeah, for the first 3 rounds, any orc type baddies are returned, and it's a 5 and 3 ones. That's really gross. Or we get to get revenge on the dire wolf. I want to get revenge on the dire wolf, man. I'm feeling that. So getting out of hand is going to the bottom. And we're just not going to have to see that today. So forget the Tyrant Encounter. No, thank you. So the Tyrant Encounter here is basically you build the battle queue with only orcs. And then for the first 3 rounds, any orcs that are defeated, they just get added to the bottom. So you keep regurgitating. And a 5 and 3 ones on day 8 with a bunch of orcs that keep coming back and raiding and all that stuff. No, thank you. One of my favorite battles, though, in all of my time playing Too Many Bones was that encounter with my friend Steve. And he was playing as Boomer, and he did some really cool things. And I think I was Patches, and we pulled off a really, really fun battle that we'll never forget. So anyway, a dire situation. Let's get our wolves back, baby. They're back, and let's do it. So this is a little trickier now. So the wording of this, I just tried to get the clarification, and I think I understand how it's supposed to work. By the way, this should have come out from the last battle. I can't use skill dice the first 2 rounds of battle. It's pretty restrictive. I can't get the 1 reduction of damage from that. And I can't get the +1 health. But after the 2nd round and the 3rd round, they'll start triggering. So I think that's fine. I'm good with that understanding here. So skinning knife is looking like it's gonna be less and less useful. I'm gonna get the 5-point wolf. It's gonna be in lane 1. It comes in with 6 health. And it's going to be 4 on its any dice. This is revenge time, people. Revenge. Roll a 4 or a 3. I think I was in front of the dire wolf pup last time too, and that didn't really go very well for me. So 2, 3. This goes here. I think I just kill the dire wolf pup and hopefully have enough shield to withstand this dude a couple of rounds. Again, I will get the +1 health for 2 rounds, but that should be fine. We're doing option 1. Cannot use skill dice until after the first 2 rounds. We are in round 1. We're going to need the any die for lane 2. Here we go. I roll my 4 defense dice, and I can slot 1 in my lock slot, but that assumes I don't roll any bones, which is unlikely, people. For obvious reasons. Cool. I do have the mixed berries. Might need to use those. We'll see. So the direwolf comes down, attacks me with 4 attack dice. Please stop rolling 5s. It rolled a 4. I mean, that's better than a 5, so that goes away. This comes down. I'm down to 6 health. My dex is 6. So I'm going to roll 3 attack dice, 3 defense dice. I have 6 health. That's going to be really hard to kill me with 6 health. I'm kind of daring him, right? Let me take care of the direwolf pup, please. 3 damage. Yes, sir. 3 damage on the nose, so lashback doesn't trigger. I rolled the bones, but I got a 2 in there as well. So that's nice. This bones comes here, and I have 3 shield again. We go to round 2. Sorry, I defeated your little pup. I'm sure, you know, you're not very happy with me, but your pup was trying to eat my face off. So here we go. Rolling 4 dice. It's 5, 6 damage. Fantastic. So I lose those 3. I lose these 3. Woo! Okay, I guess. Well, fortunately, we're going to be in round 3 next turn, so I can start using these again. So how do I want to do this turn is the question. I probably should run. Yes. So 1. Oops. Sorry, I knocked you over. You're even more mad at me now. So 1, 2, 3, and I have 3 decks. I'm going to roll 3 defense dice. Boom. Bones, bones, and a 2. Glad I ran a little bit. And now we go to round 3. So the wolf's going to move 2. 1, 2. I get a health back. That helps. It helps. I don't know. Can you combine healths and helps into one word? I'm trying to. I'm failing. I'm going to move 1. I have 5 decks left. I'm going to roll 3 defense dice, 2 attack dice. And see if I can still keep that in there. Oh, just so many bones. It's a lot of bones, people. Great. Well, it makes sense. We have 6 bones total. I'm going to apply this 2 damage. That takes the direwolf down to 4. Lashback triggers and knocks off my shield of 2. Then I'm going to do benevolence, which is going to heal me 2. And we're going to put in a defense 2 in my defense slot. It's a very, very cool backup plan. We go to round 4. The direwolf is going to attack with 4 dice. It is 2 damage reduced to 1 damage. I have 1 shield left. My turn. So I healed. I'm at full health. I'm rolling 3 attack dice and 3 defense dice. Bam. That is 3 damage. That will... So I have 2 more bones. I'm going to do 3 damage. He lashes back. I take 2, but then I'm going to do benevolence. I put a 2 in here. These all come out. We go to round 5. The dire wolf is rolling 4 dice. He does 3 damage, becomes 2 damage. This comes out. My turn. I'm rolling 3 attack dice, 3 defense dice. Dire wolf is super dead, and I rolled 3 bones on all my defense dice. Again. So dire wolf is out. Killing it. Done. And I would have healed again. So yeah, I'm back at full health, which means I can scout. We're going to get my rewards. I'm going to get another loot. It is a Zelfie Seeds. Heal any gearloc for 2 hit points. That's cool. And I'm going to get 2 training points. My 2 training points, I'm going to get Sword Advance and just kind of really own this captain profession here. Sword Advance will give me +1 damage capabilities on every time I do an attack, which I really, really like. I don't know if it makes sense to get another dex. More defense seems excessive. I could get another health. Let me try to get more defense before I take the sword advance. I mean, it's going to be really tough. I didn't. I can try to do another training attempt. Come on, defense die. Oh, I do. So we get the 3. And now I'll take Sword Advance just for kicks. My dex is still fairly low, but I kind of will have a ton of options, and it will give me a huge chance of some crazy shield bashing. Probably not the most optimal build, but figured while I had the gadget arm, 5 defense dice, I probably won't be messing with that too much more. Doesn't seem to make much of a point. We now go to the next day. We got another progress point, so we're up to 9. So we have 9 points in 8 days. Gotta like that. And there are only 5 cards for us to choose from. Remember, that was put at the bottom of the pile by the fact that we used the tattered map. Do I want to use the skinning knife? Nope, there are no beast type baddies in either of the stacks anyway. We just added those 2 to the defeated baddie piles. So I'm rolling a d6. I rolled a 6, not helpful with only 5 cards. I rolled a 1. Again, the 1 is hot. So between a rock and a hard place, scaling down this rock cliff feels oddly different from the last shale I traversed. It exudes a strange warmth. Must just be the altitude. After all, I've been descending all morning. Thankfully, solid footing is not far away. I briefly pause on a ledge to survey the valley and relocate the raiders I've been tracking. A quick glance back at the rock behind me reveals the rock looking back at me. Giant pieces of earth break free from the cliff's surface, and suddenly, hollow burning eyes are staring into my soul. Towering above me is an angry monstrosity, a golden golem. Oh, this one's so nuts. So I can fight it now. I fight a 5-point baddie stone golem. Should be fairly easy. Or I lead it to the raiders. I take off down the shell like a dire wolf with its tail on fire. A quick glance back tells you the golem is in pursuit. Now to get close enough to those raiders and then hide. So we would have a battle queue of 9. We are on day 9, right? Yeah. Oh, and I should have scouted. Let me scout. I forgot to scout. I was at full health. I scout. It's a 3. What do we got? It is a dragon hatchling with engulf. Not awful. During battle setup, instead of your gearloc, use the golem to fight the baddies. While controlling the golem, use of its skills, attack, and defense is optional. Baddie is always added to the bottom of the battle queue. When the golem comes in, he has a thing where he adds a 5-point baddie, so that's added to the bottom of the battle queue. At the end of round 3, your gearloc goes to battle. All remaining baddies, including the golem, now target you. So basically, you want to use the golem to kind of kill everybody, or you just fight the 5-point stone golem, which he has corrosive, which can be pretty nasty against Picket. Whatever. Let's do the fun one, right? I mean, it's kind of nuts. I like it, but it also makes my head hurt. So we have the Golden Golem. The Golden Golem has 9 health. It's going to have an initiative of a 5. The card's not the clearest card in the box, but it comes in lane 1, and it has 9 health. 3, 6, 9, and we're putting it in lane 1 in a melee position. Now the rest of the battle queue. Remember, when the golem comes into play, he's going to put a 5-pointer. Normally goes on top. This tells you to goes on the bottom. It's probably make sure that the gearloc actually has something to do when they finally enter at the end of round 3. So we have the 5-pointer here. We now have the rest of the battle queue, which is baddie points. So we have we'll have a 5-pointer and 4 1-pointers. And then the one the golem brings in is going to be at the bottom. We are going to put this first 5-pointer from the battle queue into lane 2. Of course, it has signals, so that's going to be super interesting. See how that plays out. It has 6 health, and the goblin alarmist is going to go up there. We're now going to go to the 1-pointers. We have the dragon hatchling. Dragon hatchling comes into lane 3 in a range position. It has 3 health, and then we have the 1-pointer in lane 4. It is an orc peon, comes in lane 4 with 3 health as well, and that's a melee baddie. So we still have 2 1-pointers and a 5-pointer, and then remember, signal's going to trigger a couple times. So this is going to be quite the battle, kids. This goes here. So lane 1 is going to be a 5. We're not in yet. We don't come in to the end of round 3. And then lane 2 has a 6. Lane 3 has a 6, and lane 4 has a 3. I'm going to roll my defense dice just because I still do that. So I'm going to roll 5 defense dice. Oh, well, 3 bones and 2 defense. Wow. Remember, gearlocs always enter at the top of the battle queue, so that's fine. Everything else is set. Let's make this happen. So the Goblin Alarmist is going to do what the Goblin Alarmist does and is going to signal for the first time of 3. The Goblin Alarmist is always going to be attacking the Golden Golem. So the Goblin Alarmist is rolling 1 attack dice, 2 defense dice. And what do we get? It bonuses on the attack and gets 3 shield on the defense. Yikes. So this is going to be interesting. We now go to the Dragon Hatchling. The Dragon Hatchling is going to attack the Golem. It's rolling 1 attack die. It does 1 damage. Now, the Goblin has break. It could choose whether or not it wants the break to initiate. It does not. You always have the option. Again, if you attack the Golem with the attack die, your thing goes away. I want that Hatchling to be able to do more damage for a while, so we're not going to trigger break. Again, that's what this means here. While controlling the Golem, use of its skills, attack, and defense dice is optional. Great. The Golem is going to move like a normal baddie, so it has 2 movement, and then it's going to be able to attack up to its stat. It's 5 attack dice. I really don't like that Alarmist. That can make life very, very confusing for me. We are going to attack that a bit and try not to add too much to this queue. Again, we have a 1-pointer, a 1-pointer, a 5-pointer, and a 1-pointer already to go through. So the Golem moves over. He's going to roll 5 attack dice because he's an animal, and he's rolling 3 defense dice. And if I roll a backup plan, it is going to be recover 2. But again, all of that is optional. So we're rolling these 5 dice, or 8 dice, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. So that 3 defense comes off. The Alarmist, we do 3 damage. And I will not apply any of those defense dice to the Golem. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. So that's fine. We go to the Orc Peon. Orc Peon's rolling 1 attack die. It does 2 damage. I could apply break. I will. If the Orc Peon's thing is broken, he can't attack anymore, and we'll just kind of eliminate his ability to be any sort of nuisance going forward. We go to round 2. The Goblin Alarmist is going to summon again, is going to signal again. Guess it's kind of like summoning. It's we're playing Gloomhaven now, dude. He's summoning. He rolls 1 attack dice and 2 defense dice. It bones, but 2 shield. The dragon is going to attack with Engulf. It attacks the Golem, 1 damage, and then Engulf is going to trigger. So 1, 1, and 1. Not going to do the break just yet. The Golem is going to attack with its 5 attack dice, 3 defense dice. And let's try to take care of this Alarmist. He makes me sick. And that is 4 damage, 1 shield, and a bunch of bones. 4 damage. Oh, wait. The Engulf would not have done a damage to the Alarmist. It would have just knocked out one of his shields. And then the 4 damage walks out the rest of the shield and does defeat the Alarmist, which is very nice. That goes there, there. We're not going to do the recover, and I won't do the shield either. The Orc goes. Again, his dice were broken, so I'm going to put a reminder on him. He's got no more attack dice because he broke them in a Golem. It happens. We're going to go to round 3. This is the die for lane 2. And what do we have? It is a Goblin Sandbagger coming in with 2 health. It's got 1 and 1. It's going to be in the range position in lane 2. He's not awful, but I do find him a little bit annoying. So the dragon is rolling 1 die at the Golem again. Remember, I'm in there next turn, right? So this is my last chance to have some people to actually do some nastiness to this Golem here. Yikes. That's not good. So I will probably break. Yeah, we'll break the Dragon Hatchlings thing. That makes some sense. We could also break the other guy's thing too. So the Dragon Hatchling's gonna roll. Does 1 damage. 1 damage. 1 damage. No, I won't break it. I won't break it. That Hatchling can actually come in handy. I'm healing 1 and reducing 1. That's fine. We'll let that live. The Golem's turn. Don't think I actually want to defeat the Sandbagger yet either. Dude's like a 4 health. That ain't good. It's like a whole battle queue left. So bad. And there's no heavy hitters on the Golem for sure. That mischief could get nasty, but I do want the Sandbagger to do another attack die, but then he'll have a defense. We'll wipe out the Sandbagger, so I'm going to roll 5 dice. Remember, the Golem's going to start recovering too, so I really just need to wipe him out first thing next turn. 5 dice. I didn't roll the defense dice. I didn't want to, so 5 dice is going to be enough to defeat the Sandbagger. Then the Orc goes. Again, the Orc has no more attack dice, so just done. That's the end of round 3. End of round 3, we're going to go next. We have a Goblin Rioter. Comes in with 3 health. It's going to be in the melee position in lane 2. Can't, so it's going to go in the melee position of lane number 1. It's going to be at the end of the enemy meter. When a gearloc enters a battle, where does it go? It always goes at the top of the enemy meter. So I'm going to put myself at a 2 because I probably would have rolled that anyway. Or maybe not today, at least. And I'm going to put myself right the heck here. I am going to roll my 3 attack dice, and I really want to make sure this thing just goes very, very far away. So I'm going to roll 3 attack dice. I can roll 3 more defense dice if I wanted to. I will, because I'm about to get a mischief 1 on me, and then engulf and blah, 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 all this stuff. So this is a big roll. This dude still has 4 health somehow. Oh, that's really bad. He's got too much health left, kids. 3 and 3. We got some options here. Let's make it happen. Boom. 3 damage. I'm 1 shy of defeating it. It would break all my dice. I do not want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is not use any of my attack dice on it, because again, it does have the break skill. I'm going to put these 2 bones here, and then I'm going to do a shield bash. It does mean that I lose my shield form. So that's going to be 5 damage to the Golem, but nothing breaks. I don't have to worry about his corrosive or anything. These 2 dice come out. I am unprotected for a round, but I should be able to get that back. Now the shield's form does get exhausted. This goes away, and the Golem is no more among us. So that was fun. We got a 5-pointer and 2 1-pointers left because of the way that battle cube played out and the Goblin Alarmist being super annoying. But we should have a decent shot, especially with that +1 health every round. So the Golem's out. The dragon is going to go. The dragon is attacking us with 1 die with engulf. It does 2 damage. Of course it does. That's fine. Maybe I should have had his die break. That was silly. We're going to now go to number 3. Since he can get closer to a gearloc, he will move toward a gearloc. And then this guy is going to move here. Mischief 1. I have no dice on my active slot, so I don't have to worry about that. That dude's only attacking me with 1 die. It does 1 damage. That's kind of why I kept the dragon around, though, because that's going to really start paying dividends next round when I'm still standing there and the dragon goes before the rest of these clowns. So we go to round 5. We get a 5-pointer enters the battle mat. Oh, it's another freaking alarmist. You have to be kidding me. So the alarmist is going to go in the range position in lane 1. Yowza, that's terrible. How bad is it? It's really bad. Does come in at the bottom because it's only a 5-pointer. I'm going to go 1, 2, and get there for that dragon to start doing its magic. That's nuts. I have 4 more decks, which is not a ton. I should have gotten a health back, though. I did not do that. I will use the Zelfie Seeds to get back up to 7. That seems important. We're going to be in fatigue rounds next turn, and let's just be a little safe here. Now I have 4 more decks as I moved 1, 2. I'm obviously going to want to eat into this alarmist quite a bit. So I'm going to roll 3 attack dice and 1 defense die. If we can try to prevent him signaling every friggin' fatigue round, that would be nice. So what do we get? Give me something big. 4 damage is nice, plus the 1 bones. Good with that. Get him down to 2. They did not roll a shield, because of course they did not. The dragon's going to roll with some engulfing here. That's fine. 1 would be nice. The alarms get knocked out before it can signal a second time. So what do we get? 1 damage. It goes to me. It goes to you. It goes to you. We're going to go to the orc. The orc's going to move 1, 2. This goblin's going to do mischief. I have nothing on my active slots. He's rolling 1 attack die. It's a bone, so we're good there. And the goblin alarmist is going to bring in 1 more to the battle queue and rolls 1 attack die and 2 defense die. It does 1 damage. It gets 2 defense. We go to the next round. We have not lost anyone, so we still have these 3 here. We go to fatigue. This guy's out. The alarmist is out. So we lost 2, so he still has 1 health left. Put those there for the battle queue. The goblin alarmist goes into the 5-point stack. The orc peon goes into the 1-point stack. And we can remove both of their dice. And that did happen at the start of the round, so we're not adding any new baddies. So pretty nice the way that played out. Oh, and then the dragon itself also lost 1 health. We're pretty much going to get 3 1-pointers next turn. Could be really bad, though. All right, so it's my turn. I'm going to heal for 1 health. So I'm up to 6. All right, so I should have 5 health after I healed. 3 1-pointers coming in is going to be really interesting. Do I want the dragon hatchling to attack just to wipe him out? Or I can just kill the dragon hatchling. It's probably smarter. It's fine. I'm going to move up. I have 5 more decks. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice. Let me make sure I kill the hatchling. Otherwise, this is really silly. I'm going to roll the sword advance and the 1 defense. Yeah, hatchling's out. I get the +1 on all my attacks, which could be really nice. And I bone, so I have no shield, but just fine. He's going to mischief me anyway. So that's out. So all the final 1-pointers are coming in the next round. This is out. This dude comes up. Mischief 1 triggers. I have nothing on my active slots. He rolls 1 attack die. He boneses. Everyone comes in the battle. We have what? An orc grunt. He comes in with 3 health. He's going to be in a melee position in lane 4. We have a goblin bomber comes in with 3 health. Going to be in a melee position in lane 1. And we have a dragon whelp comes in a melee position in lane... Oh, I'm sorry. Lane 1 is full, so it's going to go to lane 2. And then we have the dragon whelp comes in a melee position in lane 2. So green came in first, and then blue, then yellow. Everyone loses 1 health. That wipes out this dude, and this, and this. The dragon whelp is going to be wiped out by fatigue next round as well. Rating doesn't matter. None of those keywords really matter. And mischief's the only one that kind of matters. I'm doing +1 damage to all my attacks. Don't forget that. So I'll just wipe out that dude. So I don't have to worry about the mischief. I have 6 decks. I'm going to roll 2 attack, 4 defense. So I'm doing 1 damage. It becomes 2 damage. That's out. I have 2 bones and 2 shields. So I have 4 shield total. We now go to whose turn. It's going to be the orc grunt. 1, 2. He's attacking me with 1 dice. He's rolling 1 defense die. It does 1 damage. My 1 shield goes down to 2. Remember, I don't have the reduced damage die in place anymore. I use that for the shield bash. The dragon whelp is going to weaken me, so my dex is reduced by 1, so I'll put a weaken 1 die on me. And then the dragon's attacking me with 2 attack dice and 1 defense die. 2 damage. I'm going to take away the shield, and it has 1 defense. We go to the next round. I lose a health. I gain a health. This one's out. This one's out. So this one has 1 health left. This dragon whelp is done. And my turn will attack with just these 3 attack dice. It's fine. Super dead. And then I could use benevolence my last turn to actually get back to full health. So I actually will be able to scout. So cool. At 7 health, I still have some mixed berries, which is nice. Probably didn't need the selfie seeds, although it got a little hairy there at some point. This is going to come back, so I have shield form available to me, and these 2 will come out. We are going to get our reward. What's our reward? It's a loot. It is a fortunate discovery. Don't mind if I do. That's great. with the Golem, it didn't come into play, but one thing to remember too is the Golem can always move diagonally because he has that double foot symbol, but just wanted to mention that before we kind of move on too far. Fortune of Discovery, I will use that now, and I will get myself the Gobby Jerky, I guess. I kind of like the Orcish Ale. It's a very interesting mechanic. You just totally reduce down to 1, but if you're using that, you're probably pretty bad shape. So I'll take the Gobby Jerky. Gobby Jerky just instantly gives you a certain amount of health. And again, that could come in handy. We are going to get what else? We get a Trove Loot, which is fine. Oh, you know what? I'll get rid of the Gadget Arm because I can't use the Fortune of Discovery right away. I don't know how that works. Could I get one, use it, and then get another one? I'm not sure. But just in case, I'll just get rid of the Gadget Arm. It's not going to be that much more useful. Like, what am I really training at this point? I need so much more dex, and I need some health and kind of good everywhere else. So I'm going to get the Trove Loot, and I get 2 more training points. Speaking of which, let me get that dex. So we're up to 7 dex. I have shield farm, so I can get down to lockdown. It's just a taunt thing. That's not great. Confidence is interesting. Basically just treat it as defense. Like, I'm not going to have any room for it. Like, what's the point? It seems a little weird. I'm going to get a repost just for kicks. I won't go too nuts with the Warden skill, but it could come in handy depending on how bad the skills are that are going against you. So when targeted by an adjacent baddie, you may avoid all damage and effects that turn. If you have a second, you may use it also to deal 3 damage. I won't need the 3 damage, but I could probably use the repost. Oh, by the way, I'm at day 10, so we did 10 points in 9 days. I definitely don't hate that. The problem is if I get a repost, when am I putting it in there? But if there's some really especially nasty baddie, that could work. And it works on all baddies. It's not bad. We will get ourselves 1 repost. So it doesn't necessarily come up a repost. So basically the way these dice work, like half these things are repost. The other 3 sides are different. So let me get die 13. So again, half of this is going to be the repost. And then 2 sides on this are going to be switch, which allows me to swap positions with an adjacent unit. And then 1 side here is rush. I can move to 3 positions on the battle mat. So all of them are useful. I really do want it for the repost, and it can go into an active slot once I roll it, or I could use it instantly as well. So it has multiple versions of utility, people. So let's get on from this. So I did my 2 more training points. So we're up to 16 training points in 9 days. Yikes. Let's go to day 10. We have enough progress points if we wanted to attack Marrow. Probably don't want to do that just yet. So I'm going to roll a d6. I rolled a 3. Risky payoff. But Ebon, even as they are, still show a strange cross-species loyalty. Trolls wouldn't hesitate to call for help from an orc, a kobold, or even bog scum. A fight may look winnable, but it's often not worth the risk. Lucky for me, creatures of the Ebon almost always have a price. I wonder if the menacing figure ambling toward me can simply be bribed with something shiny in exchange for safe passage. Unfortunately, if he has friends hiding in those bushes, they might be waiting to take a whole lot more than a shiny object. So we can do a battle baddie points. At the end of rounds 3 through 5, we roll a d6. If we roll a 1 through 3, a 1-point baddie is added to the bottom of the battle queue. It's just going to be 2 5-pointers. I don't want to offer some loot. So this is 2 more training points. I think we do this and then we take on Marrow. Like, I don't see much upside. We did avoid both the Tyrant battles. The Civil War thing is really wild, where you have to like kind of choose a side, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it's an interesting thing for another playthrough for you to discover on your own. I'll leave that to discover on your own. Great. We're going to go with what? Battle queue is 2 5-pointers, and we're going to have 1-pointers potentially join us at the end of rounds 3, 4, and 5. Oh, by the way, I was at full health because of benevolence, right? So I could have scouted. I can see what a 5-pointer was. Who's the top 5-pointer? It is the Goblin Sapper. Oh, he has Mischief 2 and Signal. No, thank you. I mean, could you do worse? You could probably do worse. Yeah, we're going to cycle him. That's fine. So now we have these 2. So the Sapper cycled. He's on the bottom. Bye-bye. I had Mischief 2. I don't want to deal with your stupidity. Oh, and did we defeat a Goblin last year? We did. I'm going to put the Skinning Knife. Well, I think I killed all the Goblin Alarmers, dude. Like, what's going on? Yeah, this is silly. What else did I kill last turn? I'll put a Scales baddie on there. Why not? because they're pretty bad and they usually have really high innies. That's the second use of the skinning knife, and I should have done a lockpicking attempt. I'm looking for lever. I can use one thing as another thing. I'll just use a lever die. I can try to do trip now. I can use lever as trip, and now I need 5 force. I don't think it's happening, kids. I can use trip as force. So we did do 2 of the 3. And again, one day I'm going to do that when I'm supposed to, as opposed to the next battle when I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that thing again. And I talk just like that. Great. What do we get? Ooh, it is a scales baddie. So we get a dragon delinquent is engulf and weaken 2 if it rolls a bones. So it's got 7 health. It's going to be on the bottom of the battle queue though, because it is a scales type baddie. So that worked in our favor. Thank you, Skinning Knife. You're so useful. So that goes in lane 1. It has an any die of a 6, but it also has surprise because of the Skinning Knife. And we have a stone golem with break and corrosive. We killed the golden golem, and now the stone golem is pissed at us. And I don't blame him. So 7 health on this sucker, and we can probably use maybe some engulf to our advantage. So this dude's going to go here. The dragon is going to be surprised, but it still has an any die of a 6. It just means it's going to go below us. We'll see what we roll. Do I get a 3? I do, so I am in front of the golem as well, which is nice. And the golem comes in here. So we need to try to set up some kind of crazy shield bash with the golem. I'm first, then the dragon, because it's only surprised as to me, not as to the golem. Ew. That's a lot. That break is nasty. I can take a couple of attacks of 3 each. Try to get shield form back in place. I do have the Gobby Jerky. I can also try the riposte as well. So I'm going to put myself here. I'm going to roll my 5 defense dice. Now, corrosive will only exhaust defense dice in active slots. And again, if it's exhausted, like break, my defense stat would in theory be like lowered by that amount, by how many dice are exhausted that way. So I do have 1, 2, so I have 4 shield potential, but this guy's only rolling 2 dice, and I am worried about that corrosive thing. But I think corrosive triggers only after there were remaining dice. Yeah, so I'm going to take all of that there. Fine. I'm going to move up 1. I have 6 more decks. And let's go after that dragon before the dragon gets a bunch of defense up. So I'm rolling 3 attack dice. I can only roll 2 more defense dice. That die does not count toward my overall number. I'm going to roll this. I'm going to roll shield form because that'd be better than that if I get it. And I'm going to roll 1 more defense die because I can, and maybe it will be a bones. Repost I don't think is worth it. Repost might be worth it. Repost would definitely be worth it. All right, let me see if I can get repost. I'm rolling these 5 dice. All right, I can take this off because Skinning Knife already did its job. All right, repost it is 4 damage and shield. Great. So I'm going to take these 2 dice out. You know what? I don't want to put this in yet because I'm going to do a shield bash at some point. But I will take this out. I'll put this in. And then we're going to do 4 damage to the dragon delinquent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully he does not weaken me. I'd be very sad. Don't weaken me, dragon delinquent. So 4 damage right off the bat. I didn't get enough bones to even consider doing the shield bash. Now again, I could use this at any point. I will probably use this on the golem. I don't think it makes sense to use on the delinquent. The golem's rolling 3 dice against me. The delinquent's only rolling the 2 as far as attack dice go. Remember, we might be adding more things here too. So I'm going to be going for the delinquent now. The delinquent's rolling 2 attack dice, 2 defense dice, and it does have engulf. Now the first thing you do is apply the defense dice, so the engulf will only get it after. So if it rolls 2 defense, obviously the engulf is not going to do much to it. So bam, it rolls 3 defense. Now engulf triggers. It did not weaken me because it didn't roll any bones. So I take 2 damage, except I don't. My shield comes off. It gives 2 damage to the stone golem, and then its shield 2 comes off as well. So that was very nice. The golem's going to go. The golem's targeting me. I'm going to use my repost to just totally ignore all effects and all damage. So I keep that one shield there, which is cool. That's going to be exhausted now, but it's still going to roll. It's 2 and 2. It rolls 3 bones, so it has no defense, and it doesn't damage me because I use the repost. Great. My turn. This is a decent opportunity to try to knock out the Golem. No, I think I just knock out the dragon. All right, my turn. I gain a health, but I'm already at max health. I'm going to roll 4 defense dice, 3 attack dice. Again, that doesn't count against my limit. That does. My dex is 7. Rolling 7. 7 dice. Bam. Ooh, bones, bones, bones. Shield. Shield. Doing 2 damage. Oh, I did +1 damage last time too. That was before it had a shield. Not bad. Get these benefits, you got to remember them. So I do 2 damage, it becomes 3. Oh, that's just perfect because that's enough to knock out its defense. Glad I remember that. So yeah, +1 damage. So 2 damage becomes 3. Last time 4 damage became 5. So this dude is out. The Golem's now attacking me. It's attacking me with 3 dice and 2 dice. Again, if it rolls a bones, it's going to corrode any remaining defense dice I have in the active slots. So it does roll bones, but it does 4 damage, which wipes out all my defense dice. It only gets 1 defense die itself, so that worked out really well. We go to round 3. I forgot to move the round die last time. Sorry about that. That comes out. I am rolling 3 attack dice and 4 defense dice against the Golem. Could be really high time for some shield bashing. What do you say, Golem? All right, I do 3 damage. 3 damage becomes 4 if I apply it. I have a bunch of shields. I could just wipe it out. Yeah, 3 damage becomes 4. That wipes that out. I'm going to knock off 3. And I just shield bash 30 billion. Really kind of silly. I would try to get shield form out, but by using my attack dice, they get broken, so it's been hard to kind of make that work. So let's just finish this, and hopefully I'll get shield form out early in the final battle against Marrow, because we are ready to go up against that clown. Yeah, we are. So what do we get for that? We get a loot, throwing axe. During your turn, roll 1 attack die and deals damage to any unit on the battle mat. Oh, it's so good. Nice. And I get 2 more training points. I'm going to get another health to get me up to 8. I don't see why I would want another dex. Could just get up to 9 health and call it a day. And I don't see the point of another repost. I'm not going to have the slots. Great. Another health. Get up to 9. Marrow has 9. I have 9. Now it's an even battle, kids. So end of day sequence, I can try to pick a lock. Before I forget that I am going to scout. It's a 1. We got a Goblin Bomber, Mischief, and Careless. Now we'll cycle him. The Skinning Knife. I'll put the Skinning Knife. I think we're just going to face Orcs against Marrow, but just in case we have some Dragons, I think the weekend is the thing I'm most scared about. So now I got to do a lockpicking attack. It's my last chance to get my Trove Loot. I need a Force 5, and if it doesn't work on the first try, I'll get 1 more try. Force 5! Oh, I get the reroll. I got Force 2. Ooh, this has a Force 3. All right, baby. Here we go. Force 3. I get the reroll again. Force 3. I get the reroll again. Force 3. Yeah, we did it. Trove Loot. What's going on? Minor patch kit. Backup plan extension. I can spend 1 bones to heal a gearloc for 1. Nice, nice, nice. So let's do it, man. We're going to roll a die anyway, but 18 training points is a lot, and we'll just give ourselves, you know, another chance in case something goes really bad. So I rolled the Tyrant Encounter. Nope, we're going to ignore that, and we're going to go to the actual Tyrant Encounter, which is on day 11. Marrow, it's your turn to shine, baby. And by shine, I mean get your head smashed in by this overpowered, defensive-minded gearloc who, on the 3rd try, is actually having some success. So here we go. What's going on? The Fiery War Axe. Place Marrow in lane 3 in the range position. So he's going to get the lane 3 marker. We're going to flip him over, and we'll see what he's about. I'll put him in the range position in a second. Let's read the rest of his stuff. Where's his die? Where's your die, Marrow? I lost her die. Here it is. There you go. Tyrant skills. Marrow gains 1 extra attack die for each additional orc type baddie on the battle mat. Cali Orc. Oh, Call Orc. Not he's like, yeah, it's a California Orc, baby. He's from San Diego. All right. Call Orc. If Marrow rolls a bones, add 1 point orc type baddie to top of battle queue. If he rolls 2 bones or more, instead add a 5 point orc type baddie to top of battle queue. Recycle defeated orcs if none are available. So we don't have a battle cube at all because we ignore that because we're a true solo, but there can be orcs entering this if we roll a lot of bones for him. The Tyrant die, Skull Crack Axe. Marrow's attack does true damage this turn, which is rough because I'm Picket, relying on a bunch of defense. And Blood Rage, remove any effects from Marrow. At the end of Marrow's turn, he moves 2 positions toward lane 3 range position and recovers 3 hit points. Rough. So he's going to go there. He has an any die of a 5, and I cannot do anything about that, and I can't surprise him. Again, he is a tyrant. He's not like a normal kind of, I mean, I guess he's an orc. I wonder if that skinning knife would have worked on him had I faced an orc last battle. That'd been interesting. Interesting question. I guess he would have. He is an orc if you look at the symbol, right? I don't know. Someone would have to tell me this. He doesn't move diagonal either, like a lot of the tyrants do. Yeah, he's just in the lane 3 range position. He's just being a weenie. So rolls 3 attack dice, 3 defense dice, and skull crack. Not that scared. I ain't scared of you, Marrow. What you got? Nothing. So we're gonna put his any die in the any meter. Here we go. I've definitely not faced this gearloc a lot. This is not an act. Like trying to figure it out. I faced it co-op a couple of times, but it's been a minute. Roll a 5, dude. No, you rolled a 2, Picket. What's wrong with you? All right, rolling our 5 dice here. Defense dice for the win. The throwing axe is actually really nice. All right, defense dice for the win. Give me something good to start. Oh, 3 bones and 1-1. Where was I starting? He's got a 5. I'm a 2. I would have started here. That's absolutely what I would have done. Yeah, those bones are awful. Marrow's gonna go. Marrow's going 1, 2, and he's gonna chill right there. You stay far away. Oh, I could put this here, by the way. I'll do that. So that means I have more options. I'm gonna move 1, 2. Oh, Marrow would have rolled his 3 defense dice and his tyrant die. His attack was true damage, but he doesn't have an attack this turn. He does double bones. This goes here. And since he double bones, we are adding a 5 point orc type baddie to the top of the battle queue. Are you an orc type baddie? You are an orc type baddie. You're an orc warmonger. That sounds delicious. So that goes there. Great. Wow. Of course, I roll 2 bones for him. That's how that works. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He only rolled 1 shield, though. So there is an opportunity here that I think I should take advantage of. So we go 1, 2. And I'm going to try to shield bash him, I think. Then I get shield form out. Yeah, I like this. So I have 5 dice. Can I roll 2 bones? Probably not. I'm going to roll 4 defense dice and 1 attack die. Again, I get plus damage from that. I can roll an attack die for the throwing axe, which I absolutely will. Oh, you know what? I could have started my turn there because he was in that corner. I know he couldn't get to me, so I would have started there instead because 1, 2. He doesn't move diagonally, which is crazy to me. And he doesn't bring any 5 point baddies in or anything. You're a weenie, Marrow. I'm going to go here and I can roll 1 more attack die. I'll roll the repost die. No, I'll roll it. No, I'll roll it. Yeah, I'll roll it. What am I doing? There's no bones on that, so the attack die makes more sense. All right, let's make this happen. Bam. So 2 shield, 3 attack, 2 bones. That's good. So I'm going to do a shield bash. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All that exhausts. Not like exhaust, not like corrosive exhaust, but it's out. This 1 thing comes off. 3 more damage. I do 3 damage, becomes 4 because of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he could heal himself 3, so not entirely out of the woods yet. Although that is a very nice start. to this situation, and I will do the throwing axe to do 1 attack die. Did we kill him? Oh! Booyah! That's what I'm talking about. This dude is out. Wow. That was sick. What a roller coaster of a night this was, kids. This was super fun. That's the highs and the lows in this game, man. That first 2 games were not fun, and then it's the unevenness of the play experience of this game can still kind of shock me at times. But when it's fun, like really, 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 really fun. So good job, Throwing Axe. That was sick. But as George A says, real baddies clear baddie queues, and we have a 5-point orc that's like, oh my gosh, what did you do to Marrow? I'm going to avenge him. So we're gonna go to round 2. Orcs sound like that. It's weird, I know. And we have the lane 1 any die, and he's gonna try to mess me up because he's pissed, and he's gonna have 6 health. We are going to try to wipe this guy out because he is, you know, he's messing with forces he doesn't understand. Like, dude, you don't get it. You don't get it. It had to be done. We didn't use repos. We didn't use shield form. That's nice. That's sword events. Paid some huge dividends here. So rolling these 7 dice, it's nice that he comes right there because he's a melee baddie in lane 1. Bam. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. 3 damage becomes 4. So he's down to 2 health. I unfortunately cannot shield bash, but I have 5 shield. I can put a 2er there. That's actually a really nice defense against mischief. I kept forgetting about that. But I guess I always had to die there, right? But you could always like kind of just squirrel away your things against mischief there. And then I'll use a throwing axe 1 more time. Can I roll a 2 again? No, I bones. Do I get the bones? Roll 1 attack die and deals damage to any unit on the battle mat. I think I still get that bones, which does mean that I can use my backup plan, exhaust that. This guy's out, dude. Let's not belabor this. I think that's legit, right? They're still rolling a die and it was a bones. So great. We cleared the queue, baby, in 2 rounds. What a heck of a game. And that was cool because, like, the only reason we had the opportunity to kill Marrow is because he rolled his defense dice so bad and rolled the 2 bones, which brought out the 5-point baddie, which could have been, you know, bad D, if I may, and ended up kind of working to our advantage. So we exhaust that, and that was just very, very cool. So look, I have been yammering at this microphone all freaking day, and I yammered at this microphone all yesterday too, because yesterday was the epic Maids Night Volcara's Return live playthrough, the first live playthrough of 2022. That was super, super awesome. So if you're a Maids Night fan, check that sucker out. But here we are. So I'm going to wrap this up quick. This was great. We'll be back. I got to get back to patches, and I got to get back to Tantrum. I really appreciated all the awesome, insightful, observant comments on these videos for any little mistakes I've made here and there. It's been a fun ride for me, just kind of learning this game and having a community come around the channel the way it has to really help me get better. Look forward to similar things with Cloudspire and Hoplomachus in the not too distant future. So Chip Theory Games has given us all so much to enjoy as a community here. If you want to see exactly what's coming up in solo playthroughs land, you can go on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. I have my calendar coming up for the month to come. I put that out about a week before every month. If you want to see any level of patronage there that makes sense to you, please check out the 3 tiers of support for the channel. I could definitely use the extra support. It really helps as I continue to try to improve things around here and spend more and more time on this channel as it has grown. Everything else that people do to support this channel, the likes, the comments, telling your awesome gaming friends how awesome this channel is would go a long way for me. And again, I appreciate all the support that I have gotten, but I gotta go. I've talked too much. My wife tells me it, and sometimes she's right. So let's get out of here. Until next time, happy gaming.